right, okay. Is everybody centered on the right screen? Do you guys see yourselves on the back of these beautiful beasts? These beautiful fungal beasts? Okay, okay. So, would somebody welcome everybody to Terofane chapter 18? 18. And without further ado, no waiting around. Anybody want to do the recap? And if you do it as your character, you get inspiration. No way. Nobody?
Any takers?
Somebody?
I'm just trying to recount it all in my head right now.
Same.
It was a rather busy session. You could explain it pretty simply, or you could go hard into it and remember all the little details and little story hooks and hints that were placed upon the town of Sumpit.
You know what? I'll give it a crack. I think I might remember the important details. So, we have ventured further into the plain of Brockmire, guided by Jackal into town. We were able to cross the river into this new town here, where we were greeted by lots of new townsfolk, including the mayor, who welcomed us with seemingly open arms to the city. Well, at that point, we thought it best to gather information about the happenings in Brockmire, specifically about the Sleet menace, the dragon Malforic that is terrorizing the plate. And so we all split off into groups in order to investigate. We had various encounters. Trace and I found an odd folk wielding a broken sword, and from him we were able to learn that someone has attempted to assassinate Avos Alakane, the very person we are supposed to meet on the end of our journey. And it seems now that that assassin is my brother, Tristan. From there were other encounters of Blindbeak and Hundolfir. They were able to inquire more about what is going on specifically in the core world from the citizens here. Feyre met a rather interesting figure that warned of danger approaching of cannibalistic tribe who we are now engaging with as the mayor has ratted us out. With the tribe hot on our tail now, we are making our escape on these creatures that Solve has spawned and heading straight into the storm.
Very good, very good. Definitely worth the inspiration. You even got the dragon's name in there. Very good.
I was proud of myself for remembering it on the spot. I was like, it was started with an M. Oh, there we go. I got it.
All right, and as you lift it off of the back of some fungal dragons that burst from the ground via Sob's own magic, you were able to fly off and avoid these cannibals that seem to be of a different group than the ones you met before. But as you were flying off, sort of trying to start to go in a direction towards maybe the ship, or at least away from this town, you saw the storm, a great billowing storm coming from the north, and see that it is fast approaching, and that if you want to go back at all, you are going to have to try to beat it. And so, we start there with the storm honing in on you, and a very important first discussion, and that discussion is, where are you going? It's mostly up to Sob. Sob's the one that actually controls the dragons, but I'm sure you guys can have some sort of conversation.
Let me get my directions correct. North is actually to the right on this map?
No.
Or is it
no, not at
just
all.
up?
It's just up.
Okay. I know that, well, we were thinking about heading back to grab the ship and alert everybody, but that can't necessarily, or that won't necessarily help us deal with all these new cannibals, all these new lizard folk. So I wanted to pose the question, 'cause I think everybody's in range. I could just do it telepathically. Posing the question of if we would like to go warn the other cannibal tribe about this new encroaching threat on their territory, or wah wee wah 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 wah.
The spores get somewhat lost in the billowing winds from up high, but some of them are, at least enough of them, are able to reach your ears to start this conversation.
Do we have time before the storm hits?
Well, I imagine this is while you guys are flying. You guys are in like a tight formation, and you guys are starting to sort of circle around the town. Because either way,
if the
you'll want to probably go like wee, like go around this way, sort of.
no matter what, we're probably gonna have to head back towards the boat. But if we headed straight east, I think that would put us on course to go back towards the cannibal tribe. Either way, the storm's going to be coming down this way.
The storm's coming from the north?
It is coming
from the north to the south.
Gotcha.
Is there any visual for the storm, or no?
You have to imagine it with your brain.
Well, it is
Oh,
farther off
sure.
than you would be able to see. Or like with your circle right now. But if you zoom out, I'd say it's pretty fast, but it's kind of like right around here. It's like traveling down.
Okay, got
so, like,
it.
The storm front's right
Oh,
here.
that's
and
a big storm.
yeah, it's kind of as far as you can see, traveling across the sky and across the entire of this plate. And you see, it's one of those storms where the actual rainfall, whatever is falling out of the clouds, is so dense it just looks like a storm wall. It looks like a continuation of the cloud. So it's just a big wall of storm coming towards you.
I see.
This plate sucks. I'll be the one to say it. This place sucks.
It does.
Saying what's on all our minds.
Professor Von Schwa will say, perhaps you all can go to the ship, but I will stay. I want to be dropped off somewhere not as close to the group we saw, but somewhere here. I can keep track of the town, make sure that at least some of the innocent people here are okay. Try to find out more, so that when you return, we won't be in the dark.
Are you
Shout
fine
over
to
the
do that
ones.
alone?
I am a spell sword, a protector of the people. I can do it. Don't worry about me.
I don't like this, but we shall return for you and the townspeople, Von Schwa. After we regroup with Hundelfir.
I trust you all. You can do it. You won't need me.
Okay, I'll have the dragon drop him off, I suppose.
Yeah, so I imagine you guys are just like, "Woo," like fly over to this part. I don't think Rubaba isn't actually there. Would he be? Nah, he wouldn't be there. That's kind of where you met them. He would.
I was about to say.
He's not actually there. We'll say that, yeah, sure, though, you do, as you're flying over, see him kind of on the ground, walking. He seems to actually be going door to door and seeming to be knocking on a bunch of the doors and saying something to the people, in which a lot of people will go indoors and start to bunker down, it seems.
I kind of want to approach him. Confront him.
You could yell at him from high, but
You asshole!
Okay, bitch. So, you will lower the dragon. He'll probably want it to be more so like in the swamp kind of area. But he'll lower down, and he'll pat the dragon before kind of pulling this wolf pelt that was given to him by Blindbeak over his head again, and starting to try to like make his way towards the town again.
Does he still have my cloak, or do I have that now?
I guess he still does have your hood. He never.
Damn.
'Cause you gave it to him sometime, and then I don't think he gave. Or did he give it back? I don't remember. We'll assume he has it for now. So, are you guys going to try to beat the storm and go over to the ship?
I think that's probably the best choice.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah. So our consensus is we're gonna head back to the ship then.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, pick out a
Okay.
pickup bundle for you.
You guys are able to go some of the way again. These dragons are pretty overladen with weight as you guys are on their backs. They don't seem particularly strong. They're able to carry each of you guys fairly well, but they're not going as quickly as they could be otherwise. So they're flapping their wings, trying their best. And you guys are able to fly over this river, I'd say, as the storm is starting to really bear down on you. And it's already going to be about... as you get to that trail again that you had seen, or as you walked on last time, that kind of took you basically an entire day to walk on to get to something. This storm is getting ever closer. Sav, specifically, I would like you to roll a basic charisma check, or I'm trying to think what else would be good for this type of leading thing. I'd say just a basic charisma for now. Just yelling out, or not really yelling, but using your spores and other means of communication to try to urge on and keep these birds in formation.
Okay, just a charisma check. 19.
That's very good. So you manage to keep these birds together and keep them going forward, doing their best to continue on. How long is the concentration? An hour? Okay.
I believe
So
so.
you can re-up the spell, of course, but you do feel it start to fade as you're starting to get along. It'll be like about 50 minutes at this point. And I'd say you guys get even a little bit further due to Sob's good directions, seeming to control these fungal dragons very well. But the storm is approaching nonetheless, and is near unavoidable just with the strength and the speed of nature itself. And I would like everybody to make Constitution saving throws as you start to be buffeted by these winds that are being pushed at the forefront of this storm. Yeah.
One second, sorry. We doing aight?
It doesn't appear for everybody else. Oh, well. Alright. 20, 14. You guys are actually all able to hold on very well. You guys are very focused, it seems, on your track as you are escaping this town. And despite the winds buffeting you and trying to throw you around, no matter how well you try to cling on to these fungal dragons, some of you digging claws into the supple, pillowy flesh of these mushrooms, as there's nothing really else to hold on to. But you are not suffering any of the effects so far. So, Sav, will you be re-upping the spell, or will you be trying to, like, land or something?
I'd probably just re-up this spell.
Okay.
You know, the third. I suppose then if I'm gonna re-up it, I'm gonna grab. Let me grab. I'm gonna make 2 more of these then.
Oh, yeah, right. Extra birds just in case.
Extra burb. You never know what's gonna happen.
It's true. I have to also make checks here in a second. As indeed you are all moving forward, you feel a resurgence and you see some more dragons start to join you. You're buffeted by some winds and you're trying your best to curve around the storm. The banks, all these dragons start to bank, trying to ride the winds as best as they can to stay at the forefront. But it is inevitable that you will breach the storm eventually. And I would like everybody, with Farah, you have advantage to make a strength saving throw, as finally this wall seems to go over you. You start to see flakes, or you start to feel as these knocked up balls of ice start to hit you and your dragon, just small things of hail starting to hit you as you are at the forefront of this storm. But as finally the wind cannot be ridden anymore, something breaks and suddenly the storm is upon you. You start to feel these nearer to maybe tennis ball sized, no, not tennis ball, that's a bit too big, maybe ping pong
Golf ball?
golf ball sized hail start to rain down and hit your heads, along with some severely sporadic winds, as well as a torrent of cloud and hydration, condensation starting to hit you.
So another Constitution save.
No, this is a strength saving throw. You guys are like
Strength save.
holding on as you guys are actually hit by this big old.
I think we should make it Constitution.
Yeesh.
Ooh, okay, I think I did all
It's
right.
actually the best I've ever rolled strength related thing.
Well done. Wait,
Are we
that's-
just facing the storm? Is that that's the plan?
the storm is caught up to us.
Could I?
The
Storm is
group
too
decided
fast.
that we were
So-
gonna go down to the ship, and then we got caught by the storm.
Can
Yeah.
I?
Von Schwab stayed behind a little bit.
Can I use my an ability before the storm wall hits?
Sure.
I want to use storm body. So I essentially become.
You just are
Like,
part of the storm.
Yeah, I have resistance to slashing, piercing, bludgeoning.
I'm fucking pogging.
I'm gonna go ahead and say with something like that, you don't even have to make the check if you don't want to,
Awesome.
because you are literally as you're hit by this storm, instead of trying to fight against it, just to live, to be a physical self, you almost meld with it, and the hail almost just seems to like slide off of you. It seems more like snow than hail, and you're able to see through the sporadic patterns of nature. But I will also have the fungal dragons make a strength saving throw. So first, the one for you, Farah. Let's see, it's Geeks at 11. Atreus, 10. You, Sav. That third one was Sav. Sinbad, you. What is this? It's all such default basic rolls. And then Blind Beak. and then the other 3 should go in this order. All right, everybody that rolled under a 12. Ooh, natural 20 on that guy.
That one was mine, actually, it turns out.
No, was it yours? The second
I want
one I
that
said?
one.
Yours was the second. No, the second one was Sob.
The
Did I roll yours?
No, the second was mine.
Okay. So I think Sob's is the only one that's okay, except for Blind Beaks.
Blind Beak.
So Sob and Blind Beak, your birds will take half damage, as well as anybody else that succeeded. But you, take.
How much damage is this, huh?
It's just.
And what kind of
it's
damage?
just
Eh?
storm
Oh, that's
bludgeoning
nothing.
damage. Yeah, it's not much
That's-
damage at all, but it still hurts. The because especially since it's all this like hail. Farah, you'll take no damage instead of half damage.
I take 1 damage.
You do take 1 damage. I think everybody
Ow,
except
ow,
for
ow,
Sav.
ow,
Sav, you actually have to make
ow.
another check as well. Make a since
I
you're
heal.
since you yourself made a bad strength roll, please make a dexterity check. You start to feel as your grip on your bird starts to slip off, and you actually feel yourself like you're hit by one rather large sized one, more of a baseball sized piece of hail, and
God
you're already
damn.
not super big, so you get hit by this straight in the face, and as you're starting to fall off, you're able to grab onto this tail of your fungal dragon and sort of reel your way back up onto
Is that
it.
the noise you make?
Yes.
I'm super concerned for you. I've never heard that from your mouth.
Everybody else is able to hold on fairly well.
Ow.
Ow. Yeah, it's just the hail, man. It sucks. This sleet
Yeah,
storm is
nice.
garbage. And then everybody's except for Sav.
But it's only 2 damage. It's not. It's not.
No,
the
it's
worst
not
thing in the
much
world.
at all. Could have been a little bit worse. But like I said, it's just hail. It's not too bad. But you
Yeah,
also
we're
know
doing
that
okay.
your dragons that you are riding on aren't particularly they're not particularly strong. They are big, but they're not too hardy.
Hardee's. I like that place.
That's my
Actually,
line. I like that place.
Carl's Jr.
All right, you
Do I-
guys are able
do I have
to
to push the button?
navigate through.
Yeah.
It
Sorry.
doesn't seem, Farah, this is one thing you notice. You notice that there doesn't seem to be a lot of, like, lightning or thunder. But there, but it's still a lot of wind. It's mostly just wind and this hail, like, just pure, like, wet storm that seems to be freezing as it falls.
Gotcha.
All right, you guys are able to move on a little bit more. All right, duly noted. All right, I will have all of you make. So I'll say that kind of is for the next good hour, or not an hour, like 30 minutes, maybe a few minutes or so. But as it reaches the 40-minute mark, I want you guys to make another strength check, please. As another wave of this seems to come through. But this time it seems a bit stronger. The forefront of the storm was pretty bad. And
Go off Sinbad.
Muscle power.
Sinbad's just
Muscle power.
putting both
I like it.
biceps
Classic
around the neck
catchphrase.
of this dragon, squeezing on tight.
You're strangling it.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sinbad, calm down.
You're gonna kill the dragon.
Sinbad's really scared right now. He doesn't want to fall.
Sinbad, don't worry. We'll get through
We'll
this.
do it in that order again. So Farah.
I trust you on that. I hope.
Atreus is.
Do you want me
This
to hold your
dragon
hand?
sucks.
Sobs.
Yes.
Hundofears. Blind Beaks. And then the other 3.
Which one was mine?
We're gonna get TPK'd by ice.
Only one
Basically.
that actually it was only Blind Beaks in the first Fungal Dragon. This time it is
Ruh-roh.
It's still only like 2 damage. But a lot of more people failed. That means that you guys will have to make other
These dragons are really good at flying.
Well, it's not so much flying as it is just trying to actually beat a storm. Anything flying during a storm is usually bad business.
Bad burgers mean good business.
Bob?
That's what I'm saying.
Is this a
Oh wait, no, that's Big
reference?
Top.
That's
Yeah,
Burger.
from
Steve.
Big
Not
Top.
Bob's
That's
Burgers.
Steve.
Yeah.
All right,
Bad food
Atreus,
sells burgers, Steve. Bad
Sav,
food
you're actually
sells
barely
burgers.
fine. Sinbad, and no, Sinbad, you're fine. It's just Blindbeak and Atreus. You guys start to slip off as well, hit by either one large gust of wind that catches you wrong, or a large piece of hail. Hits
Do we
If the
dex
hail
save?
hits me, I want to simply absorb it.
That's a good idea.
Too bad inertia doesn't work that way, and you still get pushed back.
Yeah, but I'll slow it down with my ink resistance.
Bell, you're gonna make him push the buttons.
I'm just using physics here.
Nah, that's
Tap
not,
head.
Newton's third law.
that's not, that's
Dex save?
Yeah,
But if somebody
what is
hits
dex
a-
save?
I don't know. Tech save?
Mhm.
We're
You are
fine.
all both able to
So
hold
sticky.
on, all fine. Yeah, you're fairly sticky there, Atreus. It's true.
Yeah, why is that
It's a
weird, guys?
characteristic. It's a characteristic.
You have the sticky characteristic.
And
Is that a thing?
guys take
That's
3
OP.
damage.
No.
I'm gonna get it.
Sticky power.
The sticky feet.
You guys take
Oh,
Ew,
no.
I don't want to think about sticky.
No, like, no, stop.
You guys
I
take
hate
blows.
it.
Like Spider-Man,
I
right?
hate it.
No, I meant like feet.
Ooh.
Why are you talking about him?
How
Like in the game.
it's getting to that point again where you'll have to re-up it again. This was not a short walk over to the town. So are you going to re-up the spell there, Sav, or are you going to
Is it even gonna last all the way there?
make a intelligence check, an investigation check, or a nature check would actually fit, I think. With just figuring out like
18?
miles and judging your birds. How many? You only have 2 of these spell slots? Or wait, no.
I have 3.
3?
I have 1.
No, you don't think it'll reach all the way there, but you think you'll be able to reach like 3/4 of the way there if you use it. So you'll be able to get there if you push yourselves fairly hard. But you know that a lot of your damage you're taking now is largely because of the fact that you're like up in the storm, and you guys could take shelter, but that's up to you. It'd also be a lot slower.
I say keep pushing.
Let's go.
Let's
I'd
get
love
this
to.
shit.
We wanna say hi to Hundlefield.
You're gonna just
Yo.
say hi?
Keep doing it.
And
Yeah.
then we're gonna keep going.
Mhm. Someone's got to guard the ship.
Dante was guarding it with him.
Dante's not sentient.
That's not true.
No, that's
Goddamn.
He's an
He's
asshole.
Definitely
not, he's
not.
not sapient.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
All
He
right, so
understands he exists.
are you guys heading forward?
Correct.
Yeah.
Alright. So, only one more check I will have you make then to shelter out the storm, but this is the worst one yet. You guys seem to be close to the eye of the storm, if the eye of this storm even really exists. But
Isn't the eye like the most peaceful part?
yeah, but right before it, you know what they say, the storm always gets worse before the the good.
I remember that saying.
Yeah, that's very popular. There is a saying or something about the what is it? No, it's the
Don't worry
calm
about it.
before the storm, isn't it? That's the
No,
one I'm thinking.
no,
of.
the
Well,
storm
this is
is
the
always
reverse
worse.
The
version.
storm is
This
always
this
gets
is
worse.
This
The
is
storm is always
It's
worse
a
before the
magical
break.
storm,
That's the
guys.
phrase. That's the phrase.
Oh, see, Jimmy's got me. Yeah. The storm is what Jimmy said. I forgot it 2 seconds afterwards.
You just wanted
The
to be
storm is
validated. I don't
worse
think you
before
listened
the
to
break.
him.
No, there
Yeah.
was a real one. I knew it existed. But either way, this is gonna be the hardest one yet. There's a big, very large gust. Now all of the pieces of hail seem to be rather large. Definitely upgraded from their golf ball sized before already. You see them impacting the ground, breaking branches below. You can hear it. And it's starting to get to that part of the swamp where it's all kind of gunky again. So, midway through this final channel of these dragons, I would like you all to make strength saving throws.
Me is
power.
me included.
No, Farah, listen. I know this isn't too interactive for you, but you are literally the storm person.
Yeah, no.
But there is a special part that you will be susceptible to after this.
Okay.
I just need Blind Beak to make one.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for my character. I just zoom out. Guys, how strong am I today?
See? I'm guessing.
We're waiting to see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 14.
You didn't say it. You're
You
lying.
didn't
Damn
say
it! This is so sad. I was just about to say it.
Unfortunately, with it being worse, the only person that fails is Sav. Sav, you fail a little bit worse than the others. And then we do the burbs. So, well, let's do this first. Let's see what's up. Or no, I have to do this to figure out the next step. Savvy throw. So, Farah, boom. Treyas, boom. Sav, boom. Sinbad, boom.
Damn, not
Bundy,
20.
boom. Boom.
I pat my dragon for the
Other
natural
three.
20.
Yeesh.
Ooh.
Yeesh.
Wow, not 20. The third one. These guys are crazy.
Also, since I resummoned them,
Mm-hmm.
they would be at full, would they not?
Oh, you right. No problems there then. We'll just keep them at the health that they're at then.
Yeah. They're probably gonna disappear before we even get there, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter too much.
So let's see. Everybody saved except for. Are you joking? I'm rolling so low. This storm, not too bad. You guys are so good at this. You guys are fucking going through it like.
Is this what the
champs.
Ice Terror can do? I mean, like, really? He's not even that.
There is another thing though. Sav, make your dexterity save you through. But also, I would like you specifically Sav and Farah to make Constitution saving throws. Something seems to be different about some of the pieces of hail. You see some of the less the hail. It seems to be this sort of, especially since I said you guys are in the deeper part of the swamp where it's a lot more muggy. It seems to be a lot more of this like wet snow almost that's falling with the hail. And as some of this starts to hit you, even you, Farah, start to feel a strange numb coldness coming from the gap
Your
in your
ass.
hip. And Sav, you start to feel the same sensation in the gap where part of your arm should be, as some of this sleet seems to hit you, and for a second it seems too bright to be normal snow. It's not just a normal snowflake, it's like some void that slowly evaporates off of you as you start to see that there's elements of the void that are accompanying this storm, it seems, falling in these small bits of sleet and hail. And so
Are they the only ones who notice that?
yeah, they're like super susceptible to it / also the feeling of it. Whilst you, the rest of you guys could make like perception checks if you want to see that or identify that. You do notice there's some weird sleet like
Yeah.
snow falling, but you're not it's kind of too hectic to exactly see what's up with it. Everybody
Only a 13? Yeesh.
Is this only perception? Is that the only option?
Yeah, or nature,
Alright.
I guess. Oh, sorry, that was gross. Fuck.
You're forgiven.
Flip it.
We're literally streaming.
Yeah, but you gotta clip it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing my clip it joke. My bad. I'm just so used to clipping everything.
So, you guys actually managed to make it pretty well along the way, and also without too much damage. But you do start to see that the storm is shifting into something different. There seems to be a strange aspect of this storm, especially since you are now truly in the thick of it. It's melding with this sort of strange void energy that some of you have seen before, which is what Blindbeak, Feyre, and Sov noticed. Feyre and Sov, you guys take an additional. And Feyre, this will
Can
be
I
the
make-
first point of damage you'll take.
Can I make a insight check to guess if Malforic is in the storm?
You take an additional 12 points. Wait, no, not Feyre. What'd you get on it, Feyre? No, it would
got
be
a
Feyre. You got a 14.
14.
So you take 12 points of cold damage. Sov, you only take 6.
Ow, ow, ow.
Okay.
That looks painful.
Are you casting spells for temporary hit points, Sov? Or did you have
No.
temporary hit points? For some reason, your HP bar was just being weird.
No,
Weird.
I did not.
It's
don't think
it's not
anyways.
too important either. You guys were able to do this whole check thing fairly easily. The storm was not able to it wasn't able to impede you guys too much. But as you reach this point, right about, you guys, your fungal dragons are seeming very, very weak and very slow. And Sav, you sort of mentally tell them to land down into this swamp. And again, there's a lot more brush and stuff. I just don't put it in because I don't want the map to
Can we
slow
land
down.
on the path? Because I know the swamp's gonna get us sick.
Yeah, especially since you guys were able to do this whole thing fairly easily. You guys are able to land down onto the path that you were already kind of following before, just because you're not exactly sure how to get back. You guys did not acquire some sort of map or anything. But you guys finally lay down, or land down, but it doesn't seem like the storm has abated at all. Sinbad, you said something about checking if Malforic is in this storm. Make a nature check.
That's a big
Okay.
question.
Or-
You want
Not
I always like giving 2 options because that just means that a lot of people can kind of decide. And I'd say you can make an insight check to see to think about what Malforic would do, like what Malforic might be up to.
I'd much rather make an insight check.
Yes, you're very good at insight checks.
Mhm.
You surmise with the amount of
I'm
damage
pogging.
or what you've seen of Malforic that you'd be surprised that Malforic would be just flying around aimlessly. But dragons are pretty strong. You know that. I'll give you this. With how it is right now, this storm, and how it kind of came right during the attack or the visit of those other cannibals that seem to be more aligned with him you think that this is definitely caused by him, but you're not. I'll say that you're not sure how he does it. You're not sure if he's in it, but you'd be surprised if he was like up and at him, just flying around, causing a storm. After the great scarring that you gave him last time with the static engine. Although that was like 2 days ago, and as I said, you know that dragons are pretty hardy. But he also looked
Hardcore.
pretty unwell. So
I see. It's good to know.
You land down within this storm. It's the warm nature of the swamp seems to kind of counteract the cold nature of the storm, and it just makes this wet mess, and it's very gross, and the feeling around you is just pure humidity, which is very uncomfortable. And there's still all of this hail coming down, and like I said, you hear the breaking of branches throughout the swamp. It doesn't seem like this swamp is particularly used to having large deluges of physical falling of our precipitation. Also, Favor, how long did your storm form supposed to last?
Let me look.
It was probably only
1
like
minute.
an hour, but oh well. Or maybe a minute, actually.
It doesn't specify.
Maybe it's just a thing.
Forever.
That doesn't seem...
That doesn't seem right.
That doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Let me look at. Hold on.
You don't know how to turn back.
I am infinitely part of Storm now.
Well, at least that's
That's
kind
what
of
your
cool.
god would have wanted.
Okay, it's 1
Exactly.
hour. It's 1 hour.
Okay. So probably shouldn't have given you the benefits for as long, but either way, it's fine. You guys, like I said, passed it really well. So you huddle within the swamp. What is your next direction? What are you all up to?
I think we're heading towards the boat, aren't we?
Yeah, we gotta head into the boat.
Let me drive the boat.
I'm gonna drive the ball.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
glad to
I
be
forgot
off
to
that
mention
now.
this as well though. So in the storm, I should have made a bigger deal about this, but either way, now that you guys have landed down, it is very apparent that now you guys got to the town pretty late in the day. Actually, the sun of Volca was starting to set, but now you guys are in like pitch darkness. It is very much night. The only light that is leading you is the light of the distant moon that you probably can't see in this big storm anyhow, and also the red penumbra, which you also can't really see, but is kind of always omnipresently shining this semi-red light upon the plate. So you've seen
I'd like to
everything in
try.
like casts of red.
Pretty cool.
Actually, I forget. Do I have dark vision?
You're a cat.
No.
Surely you do.
Unless
What?
you're a fucking like
Oh.
human.
I think I checked this recently for illicit needs of my own, but I'm pretty sure Treyas, you
What do
have
you
it.
mean by that?
Sav, you have it.
Listen.
What?
What are you doing, Clint? You committing crimes?
Listen, it's not important until it is in this game. Oh, you do have dark vision. I
Uh-oh.
totally lied. I checked wrong. It's Feyre who doesn't have it, Blindbeak who has
Mhm.
blind vision, and then Hundolfir. I think in your version of Dragonborn it doesn't give you it, but
I don't think Dragonborn get it at all, do
they
they?
don't? I don't remember. I just know that almost every race does usually.
Every race does,
but
except for
but
fucking
I
humans.
was checking, and I do
Yep.
specifically remember Farah, you don't have it, and Hundolfir doesn't have it. But
Yeah, I
okay,
don't
yeah,
have it.
my bad, Sinbad, you do have it. As a kitty cat.
Ray.
Why would you lie to him?
So half.
I
Of
have
the,
half of
the
it.
team. Yeah, you also do have a missing eye. So, but thankfully,
Yeah.
that's just depth perception. That's not night vision.
True.
You huddle together in this cold.
I don't like this weather.
Yeah, Atreus, it probably feels
Yes.
extra uncomfortable. It's the pieces of hail.
I'm holding the
Oh.
cat in front of me
Yes, that-
and trying to keep it dry.
Just
Oh,
don't.
I thought you were
don't
like, I
think
thought you were
about-
gonna use him as an umbrella.
No,
That's really
I'm-
just so fucked.
Don't think about Orange, and he won't get wet.
But I'm always thinking about Orange.
This is a predicament.
Stop thinking about Orange, Trace.
Orange seems
I
to,
like him.
to
Can I lead the
vibrate.
way looking? Because I feel like my blind sight is the most useful in this scenario. Since it's like, I don't know, no one can see or people can barely see, and I've always been used to that. So
Feyre's the only one who can't see, really. And you literally can't see, to be fair, but...
I think I should be leading the way. I see super well.
I can see better than most people.
I'm gonna offer a torch to Feyre.
Can I use prestidigitation to light it?
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Use that. I'm gonna use the cantrip that no one ever uses.
This is
Also-
technically... wait, I don't know. Anyhow, yes, you can.
What?
I'll say that you can. I think there's some differences between thaumaturgy and prestidigitation, which is like both basically the same spell, but with some very minor different effects. And I forget if prestidigitation is the one that lights things, or if it's thaumaturgy, or if it's
Prestidigitation
both.
can light and stuff.
Prestidigitation does light things. It says so.
Not that I would
Remember
have let you do it
thaumaturgy-
anyhow, because
Thaumaturgy opens doors.
prestidigitation is like
Oh.
the all around spell. But either way, you are able to
Also-
light it, sure. But the unfortunate part is that it's just not the best weather for a torch, is it?
True.
It takes you a few casts of prestidigitation to actually light it, and even then, it seems to sputter a lot.
By the way, thaumaturgy is you cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for 1 minute.
So it's the one where you like manipulate fire.
Seems
Yep.
even less useful. Oh, that's also a cantrip?
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
I'm gonna cause it to flicker just for fun.
Oh, do you have it?
What the
We're just showing off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
Feyre, check
Feyre.
this
This
out.
is really fun.
Isn't that cool?
Isn't that
Pretty
cool?
Oh, I forgot to do something. Oh well. Let
What'd
me
you
see.
forget,
Let
huh?
me see if this works. Hold on. I meant to fiddle with the day and night stuff a little bit more. Day and night. Yeah, I think this works. So yeah, you guys have limited vision because it's nighttime and also it's hailing. You guys don't see it, but I have this cool effect that I totally stole from another Map Tools thing that Jared had. Where it shows like little snowflakes coming down. Stream can see it,
Aw.
but you guys can't. I don't know. I
Tune in
I
to-
finagled it in.
Twitch TV/Bob
Who are you
Sops.
telling to do that? The people currently tuned
The
in?
people viewing it already.
Clip it. Send it somewhere else. Send it to other people. Okay. But so Feyre, you're holding this torch now that seems to sputter a bit. Sometimes you have to get Atreus to relight it, as it will go out occasionally. Piece of hail smacks it out of your hand once.
So do we make it there?
Can I perception check? I feel very uneasy. I wanna.
Sure. Make a perception check.
You're gonna perceive so hard.
You jinxed me.
Yo, where'd my fucking token go?
Limebeak, as you are
You're over it by the boat.
as you are going
No,
forward,
I'm not anymore.
It's probably because of the darkness. Made it silly.
But I should be able to sing.
Yeah, you should. It's true.
So
I can fix.
I had myself on the dock. I was playing in the water.
I was wondering why you were in the water.
Atmosphere was
That's
waiting.
funny.
Okay.
You're just going
Oh,
for
having a
taking a
bath.
little dip. He's going for a little swim.
Wait,
I saw myself briefly. Where'd I go?
yeah, I don't know why it works for.
You went underwater.
Oh, somebody's like shedding light. That's why, and it's not Farah.
It's the fungal dragon, isn't it?
There is no fungal. It might be
Cynoid?
Cynoid.
Doesn't
Cynoid.
Cynoid?
Cynoid does some fucked up shit. I'm not gonna lie. With map tools. This guy's a fucking.
I like the
crazy.
way you.
So I know
I like
it's
the way you
shedding
phrased
light.
it. Yeah.
Well, there's a really easy way to test. We just start taking people away
You
and
go
see
to
what
the
happens to Farah's vision. I think it might be Saab, honestly. Nope, it's not Saab. What is it?
As in,
Oh wait, it was. I think it's Yusuf, bed.
it kind of looks like it, yeah.
Could you?
Oh yeah.
My main is glowing right now.
Oh,
Ah!
guys!
Guys, it is so dark.
The torch goes out, and even those with dark vision for a moment have a little hard time.
Where'd I go?
I don't know. I don't know why my dark vision.
Oh,
doesn't
there I
work
am.
for you. I think you need this one. Hold on. There you go. Now you should be able to see with. Or can you? No, you can't. Listen, I didn't really. Like I said, I forgot a little bit. Just stay next to Farah, who has the light.
Okay, sounds good.
But either way, your perception check. You are kind of leading the group a little bit. You know, lost. More people are getting lost. You seem to lose each other in the darkness of this storm.
Guys, I
every
think
time
we
you
should
come
all
around.
hold hands.
This is a good idea.
Blindbeak, you are leading a little bit,
Wait, what was that?
trying to lead the way when you start to feel a presence ahead of you.
But are you moving me?
Friendly or what kind of presence are we feeling?
As it seems to come, as you go closer, you feel it start to be a little familiar. It's hard to judge energies and keys from far away, from outside of your 30-foot range. But as it gets closer, you feel
I
a
think it's
familiar
Vaughn.
presence. And lo and behold, you do. It's Hondofear, who was coming to try to find you, or trying to get there, as you guys were.
That's not true.
No,
That's so
would
wrong.
you
He
not?
was playing in the water.
Listen, what would
I
you
was just
do?
hanging out.
Splashing
He
around.
got
you-
lost on his back.
Doc, I was drinking
if all your friends were gone during the night, and also a giant mega Haley storm showed up, would you just stay back?
I
What
know.
the fuck is
that
he gonna do?
I know that the first terrible decision you can make in a survival scenario is to leave your base.
Yeah, that's true.
All
Especially
right,
when it's a fucking
mind.
storm.
Wander into the woods in
it's
a
not
storm.
familiar. It's a frog. You find a frog on the ground. It ribbits at you.
It's crazy.
Ooh.
It feels familiar because
Okay.
it must have been in the swamp before.
It's my, what's the frog's name from Over the Garden Wall?
Oh,
Well,
really
it has
cringing
a
me.
bunch of ones. It's
The
George
last one.
Washington.
Yeah.
It's
That frog kind of looks like Hundlefier.
Mr. President. It's
What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, don't you see it? It's kind of
What about something
similar
Thunderbird,
facial
right?
structure.
It's tiny. It's a tiny little frog.
Well, you just have to look closely then.
Huh?
It ribbits at you.
Do you not see it?
Once you look at it.
But would they have like coffee supplies on the ship?
You
Coffee?
gonna brew us some coffee?
Raina
Just gonna
Raina
bring
gives
me
you the
some coffee,
the
yeah.
sad
I
facts
brewed
that
you some coffee.
there is not
Coffee
any
doesn't
coffee,
exist.
but there is
Oh.
lots of alcohol and specifically ciders.
Check Jackal's hut. He totally has
Even-
coffee.
Hundlefier knows there's a time and a place.
Jackals probably does have coffee, but you'd have to go inside and find out.
Mm-hmm. He's got a mug that says "World's #1 Fisher Guy."
Sure, guy.
I'm
That's-
assuming he
It's
fishes.
handmade by some kid in the village.
Aw. So sweet.
That would be sweet.
All right, you guys are right back. Hundolfir, you see from afar the light of the torch. As maybe you what okay. Instead of deciding for you so that you can join early, what are you doing?
Hundolfir
It is
was,
nighttime. It is like dead of night.
Yeah.
He did sleep all day though.
I think Hundolfir
And,
just sleeps in general a lot.
To be fair, that time I missed the session, I was like, I messaged Flynn. I was like, have Hundolfir work on fixing the ship, and then I found out later that he just slept all day.
No, you literally said. What are you talking about? Hold on.
Find the
Yeah,
receipts and
screenshot the
we can change
message.
features.
Yeah.
And he can stay behind and kind of figure out repairs for the ship or something.
Whatever. He was.
Not a good look.
He was sleeping.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, just kind of sitting on the dock, wait in the water a little bit before the storm comes. Watch
You
the
having
clouds
fun?
grow on the horizon. He's kind of relaxing. He has faith in you guys. I mean, as far as he knows, you guys just went to market. Maybe you stayed in town
We tried
for the
to.
night.
Did you? Would you have a light source? Because it is dead of night and it is very hard to see, especially once the storm hits. It's like impossible to see, and there's giant hail coming down.
I would assume Jackal's got like a torch in his hut.
Yeah, I want to go in the Jackal's hut.
Jackal ain't gonna be home, so we might.
I don't. Yeah. He's a nice guy. He won't mind if we go hide out there.
Okay, but where am I though? I still
A
can't.
great question.
You're at the dock right now. Here, I'll give you. I'll assume you have some sort of lamp that you took from off the ship, and you put it on the dock as you were doing your shenanigans.
As they approach with the torch. Hark, welcome back. That took a bit longer than I expected.
Listen, everything's fucked. Wait, that's not even Blind Beak. Everything's fucked. I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, what? You guys, did you spend the money I gave?
We didn't even get a chance to.
Not exactly.
What happened? I thought you guys were just going into town for some shopping.
How do we describe this? Long
Things
story short,
Poorly.
we got sold out.
Well,
We
here,
just narrowly avoided an attack.
come into the cabin. I'll brew us some late night coffee or something.
Don't go too far in the darkness without Farah.
I always forget.
We lost
Where's my boy?
You could use Hundolfir now too. But can you place like a static light source on this central round table?
Yes.
That'd be where I put the lamp.
Yes, I can.
Where's my myconoid fellows?
Where is Jekyll?
They're probably on the boat.
He's probably on the boat.
Then I'm gonna go get him.
Jackal's dead in town.
He might be.
Yeah, that's only half a joke.
Well,
Wow.
you know Jackal probably didn't go back.
Grace, why do you look like me? Ish.
Oh. I was trying to blend in.
That's actually you can do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Is it good?
You do
I
look
mean,
very lizard-like.
it was enough that I said you look like me ish.
I think it's perfect except for the human nose.
Actually, the art makes it look like you're covering the human nose on your chest.
Yeah, I'm very embarrassed. I can't get it to go away.
There
Look into my
was a
human
joke
nose.
last session that when Trey's morphs,
I
they
kept
got
rolling poorly when I was seeing how good my disguise looked. So we said that there's a human nose on my chest. But it's okay. My hands usually cover it anyway. It's fine. I walk around like that
Exactly.
usually.
So it all works out in the end. Anyway, I informed Bundle here that the town is under attack, and we've come back here to regroup.
By who?
Another
See,
group
they-
of cannibals. They
Yeah, but they
showed
like
up
the
very
ice dragon.
unexpectedly. It does seem like
Mhm.
they're fans of the ice dragon.
Yes, they have an alliance with Malforic.
The mayor
Oh,
kind of
well.
sold us out, which
The mayor's a dick.
I mean, I
Wait.
can't blame him. He was protecting his people instead of some strangers he just met.
Bonchois is back there protecting the people now. Although,
Bunchaw's. Oh shit. We left Bunchaw.
well, he chose to stay back there.
Yeah,
He's a
weren't
capable
there,
man.
You weren't there for that, but he basically asked to be dropped off so that he could work to protect them, and you guys could like go get help / figure out your own stuff.
Well, I suppose for the time being, until this storm passes, there's not much to be done about it.
But I feel like we've already wasted too much time. We should be there defending the townspeople.
I will
Then why did we walk all this way?
Yeah, I will
why
say you
didn't you
guys
come
are
back?
starting to feel like on the edge of exhaustion, especially trudging through that storm. If you guys stay up even a lick more, you guys will suffer one exhaustion, which is up to you guys.
I think our best decision is wait out the storm, and we talk to who's our friend, the good cannibals, and maybe they could help us out.
What a oxymoron. Just
The good cannibals.
cannibals.
Was it Chlorag? I forget.
It was something like that. Hold on, where's my? Think I wrote it down. Well,
Or Craig?
yes,
Chlorag.
No.
I think we talked to Warcrag soon because it looks like they're allocating the resources of Warcrag's clan to the Malforic, and they're not going to appreciate that.
Wait, Lord Craig's clan is also in on it?
So they have a deal, kind of, where it's they take the dead of the town and they give it to their whatever swamp god, right?
Yes,
that's
but
like,
I thought the danger was another clan.
yeah, that other clan is taking the dead and they're actually just killing people straight out to give to Malforic, and that's kind of fucked.
I see. Well, you all look exhausted. I would get some shut-eye and I can stay up and keep watch, because apparently I slept all day.
Okay,
You sound
listen,
really
there's not
passive-aggressive
even
about that.
literally anything you could have done to repair the boat. I've said this so many times. You can't repair the boat anymore without help. The best you're doing is
It has
patch
to get
jobs.
beached
Yeah.
so that we can repair it, and I don't know if you can beach and repair that boat by yourself.
You
I think
could
Clint's
you
made that
could
pretty
you
clear.
could have help is however you want to, but there wasn't that much to do staying back, except for watching the boat, because the only people you left behind on the boat were a grandma and a captain that seems pretty new to being a captain.
But granted, I
And
did leave
Dante.
three
Dante.
myconoids, who I said
And Mike.
would help do anything.
But the Dante also has a weird thing going on. Seems to be growing lichen or some sort of film on the outside of its scales.
Uh-oh.
Grub that boy.
Can I medicine
Scrub,
check him
scrub.
again before I go to bed?
Do what?
Medicine check, because I don't know what that is yet.
Sure.
Okay, let's
The
go.
Minecraft
Gotta
Z
get
message.
Guys, can everyone sleep
Yeah,
so we could
he went
move
to
the
bed.
day?
These,
Where is Sop?
These guys are not above board, by the way. These guys are definitely in the hold. Because
I don't know,
they don't want
Jack.
to be out in the storm.
I'm too tired to think about it.
Dante
Guys,
seems
can
to
we
be
all sleep?
chilling.
I don't want to deal with nighttime
Dante seems
monsters.
to have grabbed a crocodile while you were gone and started eating it on the deck.
That's kind of cool.
Reyna's
He's just
also
an
below
apex
decks.
predator.
Mm-hmm.
That they seems to
Gigantic
be
on this
fine, but
forest.
this film is a bit worrying. All right, so everybody takes a good sleep. Anybody like to do anything before sleeping or during the sleep?
Yeah, I want to
I'm
dream.
gonna. Oh.
Hold a dream.
You dream.
I'll just
What role would that be?
make
The dream roll, obviously.
Make
Add it.
It has to be a wisdom check to try to remember the dream.
I will just pull a chair over to this furnace,
I remember
sip
it really
my coffee, while everyone sleeps on tables and hardwood floors.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd say I'm journaling right now. Journal.
I'll journal.
Well, you should get some sleep so you don't get exhaustion.
Yeah, but sleep
yes.
goes away with a full rest, and that's what we're taking right now. So it's
He's doing it
Yeah, but
before
no, but-
he's doing it before he sleeps, I imagine.
Yeah.
Blindbeak, you have a dream where like Master YU has a beak instead of a nose, and he
What?
seems to be telling you about how to stitch, and he's stitching some sort of four-armed pajamas, and for some reason you're in a pit, and you look around in the pit, and there seem to be paintings of strange looking mushrooms all around, and some of the mushrooms
what does
have
this mean?
like hands and stuff. Listen, you didn't say you wanted to do your prophet site. You're just dreaming. This is how dreams happen, you know. Then
This is
I'm
gonna
looking
happen.
for a meaning behind this.
okay.
The mushroom
Blindbeak
thing
firmly
was-
believes
And then
that-
all of a sudden, Master YU, you turn around, and his beak falls off, and there's nothing underneath. It's like smooth.
He has no face.
And then he says, so what's up, doctor? And then you wake up.
I'm writing in my dream journal.
All right.
Sinbad ruins your dream journal.
All right. Let's see how much this freaks out once I put it to daytime. No, not much. You guys just have normal view now. Let me change the music. No longer grungy, intense moment in the storm. It is now vibing while there's a gross storm outside. Because as you wake up, you still hear the telltale signs of the storm happening outside.
Oh, it's still present?
It doesn't seem to be hitting as hard. It seems to be more like a really gross snow, where again it's like snow started coming down and then melted halfway and then merged with a bunch of gross swamp air. It's just not nice. It's just thick rain, and it's making mud everywhere, and it's really not the best. Making sleet on the ground.
I'm gonna say,
Maybe this isn't the best one.
Vera Hundlefear, is there any way you can tell how long the storm will last?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, see, my MO is more about functioning and working within storms, not getting them to go away.
Mm.
Same
This
here.
also doesn't seem to necessarily. You said seems to be at least due in part because of the dragon. Is that what I'm understanding? The storm.
If Sinbad were to talk to you guys, he would say yes.
Yep. This is caused by the dragon. Most definitely.
Then it becomes even harder to tell.
That is true. there was some form of magic in the storm as well. Can I go outside and see how the storm looks where the town is?
Sure. You look westward, a bit northwest, down the river. Honestly, it seems to be pretty homogeneous throughout the entire storm. It seems to
Okay.
like everything's kind of calmed down. If anything, you just see that the storm seems to be worse further in, like north. But other than that, it seems to after that big wave and the start of the storm that you were a part of, you look north and it seems to have calmed down, but it still seems to it seems to get worse towards the start of the storm. It seems like the storm is actively coming from the north, but it seems to kind of trickle away and start to grow weaker as it travels further south, which is where you guys are. It's kind of southward on the Brockmire.
Can I do a prophet sight on the town?
Let me pull up the notes for the prophet seers. Yes, you may. But I think no. Wait, isn't it? I'd say you'll do it as the end part of your long rest, because I think I said that you do it as a long rest.
Well, yeah, 26.
Ultimate Guide to the Arcanum Aura. 26 is very good. I forgot I made you a prophecy roll. How do you prepare for a good prophet seeing?
I think what I would do is, I don't know, I would feel the world around me, and I would just try and I don't know, everything exudes ki in some regard, and so the waves of the ocean, not the ocean, but like as it crashes on the shore, the heartbeat of Dante, things like that. I'd focus in and just kind of let my mind wander in a focused direction.
You listen to your surroundings, feeling the general energies of nature as you start to become more attuned. You feel the thrum of life around you simply seeming to beat. You even hear Sav and the other myconoids below the decks. You hear Reyna, and you hear the slow beat of the old olive. And as you do, it all starts to become kind of whole. It starts to become one heartbeat of life around you. And then as you sort of see and you start to branch your experience out towards the town, you feel the beats start to become separated again, and you have this point of light that you see, which is rare because of course you don't see it all, but in these prophet sites you do tend to actually see actual visual images. And as this light seems to grow, you sense a familiar presence. You sense the Rubaba sort of energy, and you see for the first time, because you don't actually know what Rubaba looked like, you just kind of felt like through tremor sense and everything their kind of general shape and what their face might like feel like in the tremor way. But you finally see these like greens start to blot in your vision, and you see Rubaba seeming to talk to a group of people, and behind Rubaba is this large group of blue, which you feel the energy of those other cannibals seem to be behind Rubaba. And Rubaba, you feel the emotion, you hear the thrum of Rubaba's heartbeat seeming to be quick, seeming to be agitated. Rubaba doesn't like this. Rubaba wishes this didn't have to be, but Rubaba's just doing what Rubaba has to protect the people in front of him. And in that group is Professor Von Schwa, but he's looking through what seems to be a house.
Is Rubaba that's the
governor?
Mayor.
Yeah. But One thing that you feel is this thrum, this heartbeat from another house in the town, seeming to be behind Rubaba, and you feel this strange connection. Your mind automatically connects that the heartbeats in that house are another thing agitating Rubaba, something that he has to protect the townspeople from by working with, even though he wish he didn't have to. And as the heartbeats seem to intensify, your vision goes towards that house, and you see a figure seeming to perch on the chimney of that house. A figure with wings and this dark armor, this dark gray armor with painted lines on it, very jagged, very straight, and specifically 2 lines over the left eye of the headpiece. And you sense that there are many people like that in that house, and that they are waiting, and that they are frustrated, but they are planning something, and they are waiting for somebody to arrive.
So it's the core world people.
And they seem to be waiting for somebody and watching the town.
Were
But
they the
silent.
people we encountered inside the? I sense the people inside the door. I would think because my blind sight. Are their heartbeats one of those people?
I'd say there are some familiar beats within that house, but I can't. I won't let you know much. Beyond that, as you are probably taken out of this vision, and you know that the townspeople are semi-okay, but they seem to be getting bossed around by every other group there, and that Professor Vartra is also okay, but he's kind of watching from afar, and there's a bunch of groups that can't do anything and seem to be waiting, specifically the people in the house wearing the core world armor seem to be waiting for somebody.
Is it the governor's house, or would it be a different house?
It's a different house. You notice it's.
Would I be able
was
to identify it if I went back?
I'd say with this good of a prophet sight, you would be able to suss it out. Yes. Again, it was kind of. You mostly have to work off of energy and vibes, especially since you can't see. But if you were to get close enough, you think you would be able to hear the same thrum.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
Dante sneezing is what wakes you up from the prophet sight.
I'll give him a little pat.
All right. So you guys all wake up. It's a new day, but the storm seems to still be there. But the strong light of Volca seems to cut through, at least enough to give you ambient light. Even if there's still wet and sleet falling from the sky.
Order.
So?
Does someone usually cook breakfast, or do you think my guy would do it?
It's up to you guys who cooks breakfast or not, but I know.
I'm gonna cook.
What can we
I
get?
know, Blindbeak, you've cooked before. You've made like those candied apples, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But then also, Reina has a lot of like rations aboard. That you.
I think
guys have been
everyone
eating
needs
on. a lot of
something
apples.
I'll ask Farah to go fishing to get some fish, and I'll cook it up.
I'm down. I'll go
Somebody
fish for a while.
Watch.
Farah dives
I'm
in the
waiting
water.
for fishing. I'm waiting. You're gonna get a nat 20 fishing.
Should I roll to fish, Flint?
Yeah, you should make a survival check.
Can I get advantage because I'm swimming and also live in the water? and was
I mean,
Favor has the mind of a
I'll
fish.
allow it.
Didn't even need it.
What did I say? I
Didn't
said
even
nat
need
20
it.
fishing.
Let's go.
Chris Pogs.
So as you're going down, swimming through the murky depths, natural 20, I'd say you basically see you're like kind of going around. You see a few small fish. You also see like some snakes and such in the depths, swimming through some like eels, different strange little animal types that you perhaps haven't seen, especially on your own plate. Just ambiently swimming around, and it's very murky.
Yeah.
It's hard to see through. But one thing you do notice as you're swimming through, you kind of pass by a lot of the small stuff. You know you're better than that. You've seen bigger fish on your plate. Dad won't be able to feed everybody. You're going through, and you see this kind of shifting of the murkiness ahead of you, and you yourself, being one with water, sort of tune yourself with the murkiness and try to seem as unopposing and sneaky as possible in the depths as you come towards this large thing that seems to be disturbing the mud in the bottom. And you come face to face with what it seems to be a giant catfish with its long
Yes.
tendrils from its maw, like stirring up the mud beneath, and just kind of lazily going along the ground with cold but almost wise looking eyes. And it is large. It's big. It's bigger than you are. And
Yes.
as you see it, you know that it'll probably make some good eating. So you calmly kind of swim forward as close as you can without it seeming to be disturbed. It almost just seems to interpret you as just more water or another beast also there, just ambiently swimming next to it. And it is too late for it as suddenly you strike forward with the speed of lightning and spear it with your magical spear. And lo and behold, Treus, you are just waiting above. You don't even know where Feyre is. Feyre seems to last very, very long in the water, obviously having some sort of kinship with it, not being able to drown or anything like that. And it takes a few minutes, like 10, 15 minutes, but sure enough, you almost think that some large beast is starting to breach out of the water, but it's actually just a giant fish on Feyre's shoulder as Feyre gets to the dock and basically holds this giant thing splat onto the deck.
I got breakfast.
How did you do that?
I swam up to it and I stabbed it.
It is that easy?
Well, it's kind of what I did my whole life back on my plate, back on Ethereal.
Oh.
Can I ask Reina what food supply, like, specifically, like, here, do you have, what food supplies do we have on the ship? Is there, like, rice or anything?
We have the magical rations.
We got a lot of bread. We got not much rice. Rice is kind of hard to come by, but we got like some dried meats. We got a lot of apples. I got some dried fruits and bread. Honestly, listen, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. This ship was already costing enough as is, and even with the help of your employer and his own funds, I kind of got the least expensive stuff I could. Of course, I indulge for some apples, even if they're rare. I'm a big apple fan. But other than that, we just kind of got bread. Well, we do got some spices, though. I'm not a barbarian. We eat with some, some taste to our food, but we don't got anything too fancy, unfortunately. But it hasn't been a problem. I mean, Favorite has been fishing before as well, so we've had a lot of fish, and I remember Blindbeak making those candied apples. Those were pretty good. Sorry if this doesn't answer your question. I mean, I'm willing to get something nicer next time we find a good place. By the way, I didn't really get updated yet, but
it's apparently very bad, actually.
yeah, I kind of see that in how y'all are holding yourselves, or the fact that you guys came back at the lick of night. But we're safe, right?
You'd have to ask the others, though. I worry we may not be entirely. I'm still a little bit foggy on the exact details, you know, because I was here.
Yeah.
But I'll just I would talk to Blindbeak or one of the others, but we might have to move on soon and completely abandon this ship if necessary.
Whoa. There will be no abandoning of the WS Lost Foundling, okay? If anything,
I forgot that's what its name
I'll
was.
stay back with it. I'll do it all alone or with Olive or whatever, but we are not leaving this anywhere where it could be pillaged or taken from. I know it needs fixing up,
Fair enough.
but let me tell you, this is a very good ship. Very nice. Heck sail. Very fancy. And it's got the static engine. Get rid of this. It would it would be quite a loss. For all
Well, there's no denying that. But regardless, I'll just grab a handful of apples and a loaf of bread and carry them back into the cabin. I'm going to toast this bread and slice these apples and
Is that before you know that we brought everything back?
What do you mean brought everything back?
The giant catfish.
The big fish.
Well, I just know that breakfast is getting ready.
Oh.
making a side dish out of
Generally.
bread and apples.
Are you at the? Oh, you're at the boat.
And then I think Blindbeak will be cooking fish when he's ready, so or when it's caught.
Can I be able to see things now?
No.
Just click off of your character and you'll see everything.
I come here carrying the big fish over my shoulders.
Wow, that is quite the catch. I didn't know there would be much in these waters.
Yeah, caught this big guy scrounging for muck on the bottom of the river.
That thing could feed literally everyone.
Aye, and so it shall.
That's the idea.
Well, make sure you got it good. It's probably full of no good swamp gunk.
Yeah, I wouldn't swim around too much in that water. Isn't it like bad for you? It looks quite murky and muddy and gross.
Oh, it's not ideal, but it's fine. I've lived in the water my whole life. I'm quite used to it.
Okay.
Although the waters of my home are much clearer than here. Much more pristine.
I don't think I've ever seen murkier waters than here, but I was expecting it. So,
can I butcher this? Can I
Do you want to butcher that? I was
Fillet.
Are you?
fillet? Yeah, it's fillet when you do it with a fish. You're right.
fillet the giant catfish. Yeah,
Unless
whoever
someone
wants
else-
to cook it can make another survival check, and somebody can help if they wish.
Do you want me
But
to
the
cook
best
it?
place to cook it is probably Jackal's house.
Alright,
Yeah,
I'll
we'll go to
bring it over
Jackal's.
Jackal's
Come on.
slams it down on the table. Bah!
Oh, I wouldn't.
All
Wait, have you? I would clean it outside. That's gonna be disgusting. I would do that out on the docks.
I feel like does Jackal have a designated spot? I feel like he would.
I feel like
definitely
he would have like a spot where he guts his
Cutting
fish.
table, like right here.
Yeah, it's probably like right here is the best idea.
Outside, preferably.
House bamps into exist. I mean, table bamps into existence.
Whole house.
A whole
Oh, another
house.
house. Another house just
The
for
cutting
butchering.
shack.
This is the catfish house.
To be fair, you
Anyways,
can even
I'll-
smoke it
I'll
outside.
do
That's
my-
what the this thing's for.
All
What do
right.
you want, a
I
survival?
should smoke it. That'd be yummy.
I'll say
Yeah.
What?
it's not actually. It wasn't actually outside, but you see a table that is kind of like close to the door that has stains, like it's usually a butcher table. He probably just brings it outside whenever he needs to do it, if it's big enough fish. Otherwise, he'll just clean it inside. But this is extra large fish. You don't want those guts and nastiness getting everywhere.
This is a mondo fish.
Mundo.
I was gonna say that.
And a bottom feeder too.
Just like Mundo.
Just
Huh.
like me.
No, he's a top feeder.
All right. So,
Okay. What check?
who makes the? So somebody. I'll just do one general check for cooking it, unless you guys
Survival?
want to do different ones.
What's your
but-
survival, Blind Beak? Is your survival
It's a
good?
+5 because I have 20 wisdom.
Oh, you do that shit then.
Can I get help from Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've cleaned a fish or two in my time. Blind Beak.
Don't even start with
Blind Beak.
It's still pretty good
Let's
though.
go.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Never should have let the blind guy help me clean the fish.
You're a fucking asshole.
Pretty deft, all things considered, for a blind person, but you are able to nicely slide that knife right where it's supposed to belong. The filleting isn't too bad, and also you guys are able to wash it off pretty well. All things considered, you found a really good fish. It's got some mud and muck inside of it, but you're able to throw out the proper pieces and wash it pretty well. Especially since Farah, you kind of are just a living sink. So instead of getting the murky, nasty water to clean it, you are able to just like spritz it with your own magical body water.
I'm
and,
just
like,
a
clean
sink.
it. Yeah, you just kind of like flick your hair water on it and wash it. But lo and behold,
Would
you
you
guys
yourself
get
not
some
get
nice
dirty doing that?
fillets and able to wash the stove. Or not
What
wash
did
the
you-
stove, put it in the stove.
Blind Beak, I'm like self-cleaning.
Yeah, it's true. I imagine you probably have to concentrate somehow or have assistance of water to clean yourself, kind of like a bath, but generally it's a lot easier for you to stay clean. Either way, you are able to clean and cook this fish, and all of you are able to smell the wafting smells from this stove as it comes across the docks. Even if it's still
There's going full
it
grill mode.
kind of sucks to cook outside right now though, because it is still sleeting and pretty gross.
Dragons, cannibals. I just want to grill.
Favorite
that on a shirt.
Midwestern dad.
I'm just trying to grill.
All right, and thus breakfast was served.
Women want me,
Unless-
fish fear me.
Hundo Fear, are you making like a side dish out of bread and apples?
I just acquired some apples and toasted some bread. Not
Yeah, it's good.
we
enough.
don't really have enough to make a dish per se. I'll brew some coffee too.
Oh, we got enough fish for a dish.
Well,
So, breakfast is served. You all, whoever all
Luncheon.
takes place, eats.
Woo!
It's a good fish, thankfully washed well enough that it doesn't have any of the nastiness of Brockmire. But you guys also seem to be in one of the few places that isn't super duper filthy and nasty. So,
I'd say
Is everyone
Sinbad
just
shows
eating where
up
they want to eat?
late to the breakfast.
Sinbad,
He shows up late.
Yeah, he's doing morning
Sinbad, where were you?
exercise.
Oh, he was doing morning exit.
Mhm.
Does he just swing his
Yes.
sword and scabbard as a morning exercise?
Yeah, he swings his sword 1,000 times
Exactly.
above his body.
That's what he does.
It's crazy.
Actually, can we jump to that moment because there's something I want to try.
Yeah, sure.
Swinging
What
this.
is it?
Oh.
Say he's got this tree in front of him right here,
He wants to cut
and
it in half.
yeah, I'd like to cut it in half. Yeah, I'd like to see what the Hakuna Katana could do to it.
He's gonna. Uh-oh. It's gonna be gone real quick.
All right, you unsheath this sword, this spell blade, and already you feel some sort of latent energy beneath it. But there's still this strange aspect to it. You know that if you swing it, it is quite strong, but you can't attune to it properly, as you can with other magical items. I'm not sure if you've had other magical items, but you feel that there is this latent energy that you can't quite get to without some other sort of requirement. But as you do, you kind of grasp it and do a few test cuts. You notice that it cleaves into the bark of this tree, sliding through as though it is butter. It is much softer than it is, and you know that it is. I think I've said this before. It's like a +2 longsword, so
Yeah.
it is able to cut through things very very cleanly. +2 to attacks and damage. As well as I will say, as you are not attuned to it, but you are still using it, you also do know it has an additional. When you're two hand wielding it instead of just one hand wielding it, it seems to cut even better, and you notice that it seems to have additional damage as well. 2d10.
Wow.
2d10? Why would you not be using that? That's fucking nuts.
I haven't gotten the chance to. That's fucking nice. But I look at the sword and like, no, there's more potential in you. What else do you do? Do you fire beams or something? Sinbad then swings the sword, hoping that a beam comes out and nothing happens. I'm assuming nothing happens.
You swing the sword, and it seems to cleave into this
Fires.
tree, and it vibrates slightly as it seems to sing out, and it has that cool sword noise when you swing it very very quickly through the air. Swing, but it seems to almost tremor at the end.
I'll have to see what that's about later. But then I hear breakfast and I go there.
Smiles.
Smiles brightly.
Everyone, I'd like to talk about our plans. I want to announce to everyone.
Yeah, Farah has a big mouthful of fish.
We're gonna bring the breakfast in here. I've got some coffee and some fruit and some bread. Come on.
I'm going to
I'm gonna call out to the boat that we're having
I won't say no
breakfast
to
in the
coffee.
house.
Coffee. I won't say no to coffee. You know, my mother made excellent coffee back home.
Oh, well, you know,
Always
if
fresh
you want,
for the ship.
I could make it Cliftyord style.
Oh, what does that entail?
Like 50-50 coffee and whiskey.
Yeah, I was gonna
Whoa.
alcohol version.
I'm not much one for alcohol myself. I'll just stick with the coffee, thank you.
I wasn't exposed to too much coffee, mostly tea, actually.
Well, think of coffee as tea's older, angrier brother.
I like the sound of that.
And yummier.
Yes, but I agree with Blindbeak. We should discuss our plans, what we should do with the predicament in this play today.
No doubt. No doubt.
No doubt, no doubt.
The town is okay. I had a vision, and that vision basically means there's the Core World army that's literally hiding all over around there, and then there's the cannibals, and then there's these cannibals, and those town people, they're kind of fucked. I mean, like, they're not the happiest, but they're not the worst off. I mean,
Yeah, as far as cannibals go, they're not too bad.
So things are relatively safe there, as you've seen in the vision. Of course, they're under the cannibal's dominion, but what destruction did you witness, if any?
Was there any destruction? It just looked like they were being like bullied, right?
So basically, you guys left before anything too bad happened, but you did. Sav overheard that
But they were gonna eat
that
them.
they were asking. Yeah, they were basically asking for their for like bodies, but then also just generally for their I'm looking for a specific word, but basically they're looking for servitude to the Malforic. They were like, you better give us food and everything you have, including yourselves potentially, in service to Malforic, who now owns you. That's what Sav heard, and basically Rubaba was like, okay, but you guys probably want to get the dragons. I mean, you guys probably want to get the guys that fought your dragon first, right? And they were like, oh yeah, sick, we'd love to. And so they went to
The house, and we
the
fucked
house,
off.
and you guys fucked off. And they hadn't really done anything to the townspeople yet. And from what you saw from your vision, they seem to be doing it at least in a semi-orderly manner. And Rubaba seems to be trying to work out some sort of deal with them. But it is very tense there, and everybody seems to be on the edge. It seems to be on the edge of something bad.
I think it's our best decision to get the other cannibals to help us out and liberate that town.
Oh, agreed.
We could mount a counterattack if we could get Lorcrag and his folk on board.
And I think they'd
Make them
be
aware
very
of what's
appreciative of taking care of some of the ice dragons people.
Ophir, is it possible for you to get in touch with Lord Craig? Did he leave anything for that?
Do we have message yet?
I don't know. That's up to you guys. Do you guys have message yet?
I do.
I do, I believe.
I can fly though.
Should I text him?
I don't know if message is long enough though.
Yeah, message is pretty.
It's 15 words.
Message.
Is it 15 words?
No, you're thinking about sending. I think message is pretty local, pretty close by. Honestly, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 120 feet.
Sending is how far? Infinite?
Planar wide, and you can even transport via planes, but it has a chance of fucking up.
Like a 10% or something like that.
Yeah, pretty low, but there's also sometimes restrictions. But
I do not have a way to contact him, though. I'm sure. I get the feeling that, just like with earlier, even though we've sort of befriended them, there's a good chance we're not. We have eyes on us at all times, you know.
I'm sure they're watching, but it seems that for now our interests align.
So, hold on.
Maybe you should just call out to them and say,
Yeah. Hey,
get up really high, yeah.
if any of you are out here and watching us, I'd like to talk to
You're
Lord
saying this in
Crag again.
Draconic, right?
Yes, and just out loud, or yelling as loud as I can, and then I'll just come back inside.
They did say they would hunt us down if we didn't come, so I would assume they would figure out.
Well, we'll see how that works.
Make a charisma check.
Pretty good at those.
Shouting roll.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Suddenly, 8 cannibals show up at our door.
Hey, it could be a very high DC. I am just yelling into the.
Yeah.
That's true. One's like, I didn't expect it to go about it like this.
Well, I don't know. It's just I'd say you guys wait a while and nobody really seems to generally show up yet. It doesn't seem like somebody heard your call, or at least nobody's responding to it.
Say it's about the other cannibal tribe. That they kind of.
Well, No, 19's pretty good too. You know what? Yes. So as you guys wait along for a little bit, hold on. You guys wait around for a little bit, talking amongst yourselves, I'm sure. And you start to hear some hissing outside.
I gotta make sure Blind Beak's okay. I mean, fuck.
Dante?
Yeah, you see as Dante seems to be hissing at a few people that are kind of coming up out of the depths and surveying.
I'm gonna
around.
give him his command. Stop.
He stops hissing, but he's still like gurgling in his throat a little bit, just seeming to.
Well, would you look at that? The old iron lungs work again.
Do these guys understand us? Don't they only speak Draconic?
They'll ignore you,
Yeah.
Blind Beak, and they'll go up to Hundlefear.
Yeah, it happens.
And how do you picture Draconic sounding, Flint? Like in your world, what is Draconic?
There's
like
a
as
weird
a language?
there's a weird in canon lore thing that is a little.
Sounds like French.
It's a little fun. No,
like in canon for you, or like Forgotten Realms?
no, for me, for my
Okay.
games in the past, I have established that Draconic's just Japanese. So it's
That is
kind
the
of, but
coolest
I'd say
sounding
it's a lot rougher. It's like a combination of German and Japanese, where they
Ooh.
kind of like
Okay.
very much like guttural and kind of like shout their words, but then it's like it has the same kind of
They're pretty elegant.
sounds and such as Japanese. Like
I'll
we
kind of.
Yeah.
I'll call back. I need someone who knows the details of what's going on better than I do. I will translate, and I will then do like a, I'll greet all three of the cannibals in Draconic. Hello, I'm glad you heard my call.
To be fair, though, as I've established, this is the Bayou plate, so they don't sound German or Japanese, because as they talk to you, they go, well, we were told to be watching out for some of y'all.
Does Jacko have a gumbo pot?
Definitely, he 100% has a gumbo pot, like over
Fuck
the
yeah.
counter on one of these shelves or something.
That's why I wanted to make like a catfish and rice.
Yeah. If we're here later.
Oh,
If we're
yeah,
here
that
later,
would
we
make
should
sense.
make some catfish gumbo. I assume we didn't eat the whole catfish.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
You know what?
Uh,
I'll say, especially just for that, because I like that idea. I'll say they can, because rice is kind of made for humid climates a little bit, isn't it?
Well, and it's also, I mean,
It's probably more
It's
of
also-
a Brockmire local thing.
very good for keeping on ships because you can keep large amounts of it dry.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just that a lot of, in my lore, I don't think a lot of the plates, especially higher plates, would necessarily be good locations for rice. But
I see.
this place, I think, would be probably. And
I feel like
Cliff
Brockmire
Fjord would
could have, like,
probably be too, since it's so.
Rock Market has like some weird local rice variant.
Yeah, it's like wild rice.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh fuck! Hold on, I accidentally unplugged my headset. All right, I'm back. But anyhow, they come by and they're like, "All right, we were told by Lord Craig to be keeping wax around here. I guess we gotta take you there, don't we?
We have some pretty
Where's
pressing
Jack?
matters to discuss. That's a good question. Where is Jekyll?
Yeah, we
Jekyll was back in town last we saw.
We
I'll
figured
translate
since
that.
you seem pretty, well, you seem like one of us, and we were told by Lord Crag that you are the good one to talk to. We figured we'd walk up, but originally he told us that you'd be coming with Jackal. So this is highly irregular.
My companions here say that Jackal was back in town last they saw him.
He's still in Sumpin.
He's still in something.
Alright. Don't know why he's taking so long, but I suppose Lord Crag said it was good business, and that you guys would be worth it. Kind of licks his chops. Alright, I'll lead you to good old Drown Horde. But no funny business, you hear? And also keep out of the water. You all aren't blessed by the shaman.
I am the most serious person you have ever met.
Roll for that.
All right. Well, don't be a square. They slide into the water.
Do we have to take like his little Jackal's little rowboats?
Y'all can take whatever you want, but the best way is via the river.
Well, I'll turn around to everyone. They've agreed. They said Drownhold?
The Drown Horde.
They've agreed to take us to the Drown Horde to talk to Lorcrag and some of the others.
I'll take Dante.
Yes, Oh yeah, wait, how long can I do this for? I never had to do it for a long time. Racial traits.
You should bring some food with you. It's gonna take a while, at least a day and a half or something. Depending on what boat you bring, how big and sluggish it is.
Do you think Jackal would mind if we take his good boat?
Hundlefear, maybe you should tell them that it's a bit urgent and that they should come closer to here. It's about their town and their god and their swamp. I think they should come this way. It's to protect it.
Well, I mean, I don't think where we hold the actual meeting makes much of a difference.
I'm just saying it's closer to the town. But tell them it's about their god.
I told them it was pressing. I say we follow them. We can maybe meet someone. Lorcrag is nice, but I'm not sure he is the end-all be-all of their chain of command, per se. So where are you? Oh, we're down there. But they say it's about a day and a half time, and like I said, we have these rowboats. Obviously, our ship is no good, and then there's Jackal's slightly larger ship.
I'm gonna take Dante.
Are we able to operate Jackal's ship?
Somebody could.
I'm sure I could figure it out.
We're just gonna take his ship.
I am asking.
They'll say
we have rowboats and Jackal's ship. Those are the two options. Or we can walk along the river, but that
rowboat's gonna take like 3 days probably. That's a long time. But I think y'all should just commandeer that there little fan boat he's got. It's pretty quick, especially for the swamp. It's not anything special. Don't feel too bad if a river king comes and snaps it up. I'm sure he can get another one. All these fancy town folk.
We shall ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Ah, I love that strategy. Yep. Trace, it looks
Well,
like we
use them
are
up back for Donis.
borrowing his ship temporarily.
As long as we bring it back.
I am not here to do any raiding or thieving. We're not in a situation for that.
So yeah, this seems like a kind of complex vessel a little bit. It's got some sort of device at the back that seems to be a lot of like kind of clockwork adjacent technology that's hooked up to this fan. It's very much one of those I forget what they're actually called in like movies and such, but it's very much one of those speedboats, but with the big fan at the back.
I think those are just called fan boats.
Really? Oh, nice. Either way, who wants to make the check to drive it? It'll require some sort of probably intelligence check, just to suss out the technology.
Oh, well.
Could someone else help?
Andofir or Feyre, I'll allow you guys advantage since you guys are ship goers. And
Do you have a good intelligence there, Hundolfi? Are you a smart
Not,
lad?
no, not at all.
Okay, I'll do it.
makes sense too because Feyre, you're well. Both of you guys would probably be pretty good at this. So
If someone else tells me what to do, I could instantly pick it up. I'll say that.
yeah.
I got 19.
Yeah, Feyre and you, being the boat masters, are able to figure it out. Feyre's more used to like weird technology and stuff coming from a high plate. Not that their plate is full of that, but you know, some of the central people on your plate, probably the people you didn't like very much, kind of had that type of stuff.
Yeah, no, there's some wacky technology on my plate. It's just my people didn't really have access to it.
Yeah, but you're able to suss it out, and then once you tell Hundolfir and you guys work together, it's pretty simple. Let me copy and paste this there boat so that I can send it over there. For convenience sake, this is a very, very, very far away place. Honestly, on the map, is pretty distant. So I'm just gonna mostly teleport you guys there because it'd be kind of obnoxious the other way. But I'll see if I can do a nice fog tool to show you guys. It's basically southeast. And I will say that as you guys are going along, the storm seems to just be relentless. It is very active. Is there anything you guys would like to do to kind of RP it out as you guys are going along? Like anything you guys will do on the ship? What food supplies?
Traditional Clift Yordian shanties.
Oh yeah.
Can you demonstrate?
Yeah, can you give us an example?
No, but
Oh.
I picture them to be pretty, with like a sort of pounding rhythm, low, heavier, darker than most sea shanties you might imagine. Like not darker in tone, but a bit more bassy and rhythmic. And often about raiding or sailing the wake winds.
I imagine it kind of sounds like the God of War theme song.
Yes, that's actually a pretty
Very cool. You are serenaded by Hundolfir's very earthy and quite catchy tunes.
Performance check.
Can we?
Yeah,
I
make
need
a performance check.
to
That
see if
sounds
it's catchy.
Okay.
I mean, the songs themselves are pretty catchy, but let's see how well performed they are.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I would
I
rate
mean,
it a 5 out of
like
10.
you could tell Hundofir knows these by heart, and that a lot of the love of it comes from just knowing them for so long and how much they mean to the people.
Nice.
You think that the cannibals are pretty attracted by that noise? I'll say on this, like, it actually ends up being a 2-day journey. On this 2-day journey, you guys are basically these guys are not very nice, and they're not very clean, and they're not very they constantly are like berating you guys for food, and they'll like fuck off sometimes, and you guys have to find your way through the river by yourselves, and then they'll come back. And they'll really only talk to Hundofir. They're not very nice.
In that amount of time, I'm gonna finish Encyclopedia Dracanica, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
know Draconic.
Sounds about right. I was expecting that, honestly. Eventually, you guys, you are able to read it through, and now you are already getting the hang of it, especially hearing it so often, being able to see it in practice. And now that these guys are around, it definitely quickens the rate, and you are able to learn this language.
Finishes it out finally.
How many hours did you need to learn a language?
240.
Oh, damn.
Can I read my book while we're doing this? Smile.
The ship book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Hey, I'll read my book too. If everyone's reading, I'll read too.
Are you done, Treyas? I feel like you would be done too. I mean, you actually, I think
I
in the end.
Last time Mark was going down the Brockmire River the first time, it was only 164.
I haven't been doing mine. I'll be
I've
honest.
also been like getting help from Hundofir.
Oh, that's a
Like,
good point.
all
You've
those
had
times
you've
that,
had
like,
double speed, but less
Yeah.
amount of times. That's a good point. Because
No better way to learn a language than to speak it.
yeah, and
Truth.
Draconic is honestly a bit easier than Celestial. Even though Celestial has a lot of is basically like in my headcanon is Latin, where it's like very Latin to English, like common is English, and Latin is, so it's kind of like Celestial is the root of English or common a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're able to pick some pieces off of that, but it's still like God language. So there's some things that are really obscure and weird, like a lot of weird words that have little to no meaning except for like to gods. You find some really weird words where it's like the feeling of transcendence, and you're like, I don't know what that feels like. Or like the feeling of omnipotence, and you're like, I guess I can use that when talking about a god. And just weird words like that.
Describings of feelings that I just haven't
Yeah,
experienced.
you literally can't.
Like,
can't
I just has to
understand
get
'cause you have
the
to
vague
be
concept
a god
of it.
or an angel or some higher being.
Mm.
But yeah, so Reina will also just like kind of wish you guys well and say, don't leave us too long. I mean, we're kind of the myconoids. I'm sure will be able to help, but we're not too capable on our own. So don't be too long. We'll try to keep safe. And in fact, she'll probably ask she'll be like, Hundofir, can you ask them if they have like some place we can hide the boat? I just think it's a bit out in the open.
Yeah. Sort of. You all know anywhere that the boat can be squirreled away? An
Yeah.
alcove or
Yeah, we got
hidden bank?
There's a few banks. There's always a little spot. This place isn't too. We're not too civilized around here. There's a lot of different spots. No, so the boat will be kind of hidden. They won't be too dumb just being out in the open. Feels a bit foolish. But either way, it takes a long 3-day journey. We'll say that nothing really happens, but the storm does not abate. It gets lesser maybe, but it's still pretty strong. And it actually has waves. There'll be sometimes, like, part of the reason it takes longer is just because the storm will get worse sometimes and then lessen again. and that'll slow your track a little bit, making the river a lot choppier and whatnot. But lo and behold, you guys are able to get there without too much hassle. They'll let you know basically that generally it gets better when you go more south, away from the Great Falls. They'll say the Haven Falls that are basically just the moisture coming off of Haven. It gets like more habitable, but as you get closer north, it gets worse and more muggy and awful. So you guys are kind of going towards a bit of a nicer part of the plate. There will be a few times where you guys have to wrangle up some fish and some fight some crocodiles, but nothing too big or apparent. But let's move to this.
Whoa.
You guys, as you get closer, start to notice more and more like of these eyes just sort of watching you from afar, and that's when they'll start to tell you like, oh, we're getting close, you guys better be on your good side, and well, you know, just keep a little quiet, or make sure you have your weapons out. I think they'll understand y'all are hunters. Lord Craig's been telling most people, but just don't look like prey is all I'm saying.
Did Lord Craig get special art?
He did get special art. He was.
Let's go.
There might be stuff for him coming up. Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
I can do this. No, I.
Where is everybody?
Did I do it right?
We're all in the water still.
Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna be in the boat in a second.
Really was so far away.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God,
Here's I carved
big
out
did
the
you
path
make
a
that?
little bit. Basically, this is why it took.
Jesus Christ.
This is why it took 3 days. It's because you guys are going down this river and it's fucking long. Yeah, there's
It
actually.
was 3 days, not 2 days.
Oh, sorry. No, it was 2 days. It was 2 days.
Oh, okay.
But as you guys got closer, these guys had to go out of their way to like tell people that you guys were coming, and were like, they basically were like, it's a jackal situation. They're like coming to talk to us, and they're like, all right, okay, just they better give us some meat, and stuff like that. They seem to be very food focused, / body / I want to eat you focused.
I wonder why.
But anyhow, you guys, let me see if I can move this boat to a better spot. It's kind of awesome. So you guys are able to moor up as you get closer, and more of these eyes show up. You surmise that there's probably eyes and cannibal catchers everywhere. And you guys get to this island. It seems that you guys get to an area where there's a lot more water, and it's like kind of gathered together into this one spot. You actually see a lot of empty camps on the way here too, places where people probably lived but then were abandoned, and they seem rather recently abandoned too. Some of the cannibals you see are like scrounging stuff from them, and they go ahead a little bit, some of them do, and they have it so that Lord Crag is waiting for you. As you finally arrive in dock, and Lord Crag nods and says, well, I'm glad you all made your way here.
You know, I'm looking around, I'm almost reminded of home again, or at least the temporary camps we would set up. And then I'll hold my hand out for like the bro handshake and see if he understands or reciprocates.
You know what? You've got, yeah, he will. Not even a check. Just he'll kind of, especially in saying that, like, oh, I come from a place like yours. He seems to continually be surprised. He says, well, perhaps you'll have to tell me more some other time. But you've come at a very auspicious time. We might have to leave quite soon. You won't have much time here. Probably best for all of you, so that more of my brethren don't, well, try to take nips at you. But we'll have to leave soon, probably, depending on what the shaman has to say today. There have been events taking place.
Is this guy speaking Draconic or Common?
Draconic, of course. He does not. He does
I
not.
was about.
He does not sully his tongue with the god. He does not sully his words with the god tongue, as he has said before. So unfortunately, you are just having to be translated by Hundofir or Sav. Yeah, Sav kind of.
Because I can just mentally do it, so I don't have to
Sav's the
repeat
perfect
everything.
translator, basically, because he just transports it into your mind without having to be obnoxious to the other people, and he can do it pretty quickly too. So Sav's just kind of good that way. But either way, Lord Crag will say, "Now stay with me. I've been warning everybody about your arrival, but well, as I've said, they get very antsy, and I don't want you to get lost in camp. You'll be ending up in one of our pots."
I'll sort of chuckle. We'll stick right by you, and I'll relay that to everyone who doesn't understand.
Now I'm gonna introduce you to the shaman, but I think the shaman will also have something to say to the entirety of the clan. Do not speak up while the shaman is speaking. Is that understood?
I'll nod and then relay that too, and make sure everyone actively nods their heads.
Here the shaman's word is law. And I imagine you will have to pay some sort of fee eventually with some new flesh and bone. So I would think about that as we're going along. Perhaps if you had any sort of good catches on the way here, or if you need to catch something, I would do it soon. But I imagine you won't have to pay that until after we're done talking to the shaman. Now come along. You pass by a kind of filthy, kind of gross camp. You see there's blood stains everywhere. There's cages with dead bodies. You see there's also like skulls and other things hanging about in this area. Lots of guts and stuff just left astray. They obviously do this not only just for sustenance, but also for show. They take some sort of strange glee from the butcher of others. And you do occasionally see these fire pits that seem to be spots where they have these big pots of a bubbling substance that is almost, some seem to be almost as red as blood. Just boiling pots of some sort of blood-based stew. Others seem to be a bit
Sacrifice stew.
Basically.
Love some good old sacrifice stew.
Sinbad kind of whispers under his breath about like, "Oh, this is horrible."
It's pretty gross.
Trace nods.
I cover up Trace's eyes. Trace, don't look at that.
One eye just shifts down, like below your hands.
No, Trace.
So, and then again, there's a lot of things on this map, so feel free to look around to kind of gather kind of what you see. There's a lot of skulls. There's some like places where obviously they keep their meat and their water. There's a big pen.
Kind of gross.
The meat room.
Not even the meat room, just the meat like
Pile.
clearing. Yeah. They just keep it out, and there's like fleas around it. You would not even think about eating any of this stuff. But you know, that's just how it is, I guess. All right, so he'll lead you kind of north to this clearing over here.
So as we walk, I'll sort of sidle up to Sav, and I'll say, it's good to have another person that can talk to them, but before you bless them with your spores, let me give them a warning first. I'm not sure they would react well, caught off guard.
Sure. Wow.
Wow.
Sorry, my mic's a little fucked up. Sorry if that was loud. Hold on, let me get some new music.
I'm working on it.
I do have a good song for this area.
Oh, then you are more than
Cannibal Camp.
I love this soundtrack so much.
Oh, what's he gonna play?
What's he gonna play? Yeah!
No,
Inscription.
not that one. But yeah, Inscription. This is too.
The Angler.
Do I play this one?
Hello.
It's just a bit of a fight song, a little bit. I was gonna just do the cabin one. We won't play this until like fights, but maybe happen. Oh, another thing of note is you see some very sickly looking crocodiles over on this side of the camp. They seem to have strange like things growing out of them, and different like these ones specifically have a plant that seems to dig into their scales and grow these strange glowing bulbs on their back. They seem to keep a lot of pets. So you guys kind of reach this clearing, and Lord Crag will kind of step forward and kind of wait, and he'll say, "The shaman sees us. We simply have to wait for the shaman to arrive." And it takes a little bit. You do see this kind of hut at the edge of this swamp. It seems well built, all things considered. Everything else seems to be ramshackle, but this hut seems to have a sort of organization to it, and it also has this strange boat on the side. It seems well made. And stepping out of it, you see somebody that you did not somebody that looks a bit different than the others. A dragonborn who's not dragonborn's pretty big on standard, still a bit short for that, maybe more 6 foot than towering dragonborn, but also kind of seemingly thickly built with some muscle, as these others also have. But the most notable thing you see dragging behind them is this long tail of mosses, and much like these crocodiles seem to have these things growing out of it. You see the tail has these mushrooms, different, and also strapped to it is these different vials and pouches. But they seem perfectly healthy. They actually seem quite hearty as they kind of step out of their hut. And you see that some of the other cannibals that have been very lightly following you just because you guys are newcomers, again licking their chops and kind of looking at you all, seem to stand back in reverence and be now facing their eyes towards this newcomer. You've heard the shaman being mentioned many times, and it is up to you if this figure sort of completes your expectations or not. But one also thing that you see as they approach closer, that it almost contradicts everything else on them, these like red cloths almost seem to be dyed with blood and all these bones, is a pair of glasses at the edge of their maw snout. And as they arrive, all of the cannibals seem to thrust forward their bone weapons and bow their heads but stay standing. And Lord Crag sort of does the same as this plague speaker walks forward and says, "So these are the people that you had mentioned, Lord Crag?" Lord Crag dips head lower, and she says, "You have the permission to speak." "Yes, these are the ones that I told you of, the ones that fought the rogue, the filth, the dragon that is invading our plate. They seem to have scared it off, and I have deemed them hunters. I've given them a test, as I said before. They are worthy of your presence, although their actual worth is up to you, shaman." And
I'd like to imitate the bowing that the others are doing.
the plague speaker will walk forward. And definitely note that Hundofir is at the forefront. And all of you...
Can I do an insight check? This guy doesn't look like he's like... Glasses are definitely not fitting the aesthetic here. So I feel like he's from somewhere else.
Make
So
a
she.
look tech. It is a she. Seems to be...
She, my bad.
But, I mean...
Look at that curvaceous figure.
Haven't asked the pronouns, I guess. Insight check. Yeah, I mean, as I noted, the glasses are not...
Well, it's not from here, but
Yeah, not from
is
here.
she from here is the question. It's a nat 1, so I don't know shit.
Yeah,
still.
but you definitely think there's something a bit different about this person compared to the other people in the camp. But you're
Why
not
be trying
sure
to
where or
find
why. So she looks to all of you, and she'll actually start like coming up, and at first expecting you, Hundofir, kind of like looking around you. She also seems to like kind of do the snake thing of licking the air, and kind of seems to smell as well, but never with like touching or getting too close to you. And she'll kind of do the same with the rest of the group as well.
And when she does get close to me, I will sort of bow my head.
You definitely, compared to the others that sort of do the standing but lowering their head, as you sort of lower your head as well, and Sinbad, you do the same. The plague speaker seems to, or the shaman, seems to raise her head, which isn't a nod, but you understand through Lord Crag and the others that it seems to be a sign of kind of acceptance, like a sign of acknowledgement, however small, that she kind of lifts her head up to you as you lower your head. And she goes to the others, definitely pauses on some of the stranger people, like Treyas.
No, I'm just a crocodile. I'm so normal.
Check out my cat. Look at how normal he is.
Yeah, just a normal crocodile and a normal cat.
I'll be petting Dante, making sure he's not in like trouble and stuff like that.
Then she'll go back and she'll say to Lord Crag, "It seems that they have experienced some of Grazia's curses, but some of them have been abated of the effects, although that wyvern they have brought is affected by the worst of it. I'm surprised they are able to get away from Grazia's effects so easily. This is truly a sign that they are at least capable in some regard, although with the champion leaving and the Beastmaster, it is still a question if you and your judgment and these others truly do have the strength to fight a worthy opponent." Lord Crag will bow the head and say, "They are our only chance if the champion has gone to the other side. I only ask that you give us this chance instead of us feeding on them. Perhaps they will let us have an ultimate feast, the feast of a dragon that is not a master of any. The plague speaker will kind of nod and say, bold words to go against a dragon. But I accept your loyalty, however foolish. How about you? She'll kind of again raise her head towards Hundlefair and say, you may speak. What do you think of this dragon that has come, bringing this storm that will inevitably freeze over this plate? One that doesn't belong here. What do you think of them?
Well, it's just that. It does not belong here, and already I have very little love in my heart for despots and tyrants, and dragons often tend to be, especially of the chromatic kind, the worst versions of those. An ice dragon in a swamp plate, turning it to an icy wasteland, does not sit well with me.
But do you think...
Nor does the fact...
Do you think you will be able to fight it, even survive to confront it in its own realm?
Well, with my more than capable friends here, my good comrade Lorcrag and your tribe's backing, I definitely think we should be able to counter this dragon and, if not slay it entirely and turn it into this god feast, then drive it off the plate once and for all. Although, I have it to thank for this missing eye, so I'd like to see it put to rest, to say.
Yes. Void Scar, very rare, except for those that come from the core world. I find it interesting that so many of your group is affected by this. But no matter. I'm sure with these light effects you have, it won't affect you much, unless, from what I can tell from my experiments with this sleet, it seems to have harnessed that power as well. Those of you with void scars might want to take care when facing that dragon, if it truly has the power of the void, as you seem to all be affected by it. For those scars will broaden if you allow them to. Very well. Do you have more to say? Anything additional to put my trust in you and these outsiders?
Are you aware of rival tribes falling under the dragon's banner, giving up their sovereignty to it?
I will let you know more than that. I know of the northern tribes, those of the Vessid Maw, going to the side of that beast, that usurper. But that is not it. If you were to go face this dragon, you will have to face more than just Malforic. You will have to face my own champion, who has gone against me in some sort of childish bout. And you will have to probably face the Beastmaster as well, although I'm sure you will be able to take care of that fledgling Beastmaster. But that is where your friend here, Lorcrag, will come. Even if you fail, I will give them this. I will give them my best boon of my champion. You will fight alongside my new champion to face my old champion. And hopefully teach my old champion, although you will not be able to defeat them. At least show them that I am the one in power and that I am the one who decides who lives, who is feast, who is hunter on this plate. And
Nod.
Lord Crag will kind of say, I do not deserve the place of the champion. And the shaman will say, well, you will take it. It is what I have deemed so, and even if you do not have the strength to withstand the weight, we shall see. Either way, it returns to the old champion, or we become the horde of that usurper. Since this is so important, I give you all permission to speak. All outsiders. Do you have anything to say? Anything additional that could help fight this beast? Or anything additional to perhaps take on a boon?
Is she
Did we
speaking?
bring up the town yet?
She speaks to
We
like all of
haven't.
you.
We haven't. Oh.
Like in common or Draconic?
She speaks in Draconic, but Sav can, I imagine,
relay
is still
yeah.
translating.
Relaying.
I see.
I'll speak up and say the ones who served Malforik took the town from you guys, and we came from there to alert you and hopefully assist you in taking back the town.
The town being taken is new, although not surprising. That town is weak without its old governor.
Old governor.
We were told that you use the sacrifices or the dead to please your god, and we're hoping to help you out if you help us out.
Watch your tongue when you speak of Greja. Greja is no thing to be worshipped. It is a thing to contend with, a thing to maybe make deals with at best. Our stews work against Greja's own machinations. We don't wish to be under Greja, and we work as best we can to put off Greja. The only one, the highest one of this tribe, as long as you are here, there is no other gods. There is only I, the plague speaker, who puts off those dastardly machinations of Greja that would put you into a filthy, torture-filled pit and then an eventual grave. Is that understood?
I apologize. I didn't know.
Yes, I imagine you wouldn't. And I will take this apology for now, but do not forget that I once controlled every dragon in the dragon horde before they betrayed us.
So I'm just gonna yeah, I gotta come up within range, and then I'm gonna let off a soft plume of spores, yellow and green, sparkling in the air.
This is just how my companion communicates. Nothing more.
I would be resistant to any illness that this small one would bring either way. I welcome a challenge if it were so, especially in my own tribe. But this better be important.
I don't think anybody needs to explain my spores, but I'm glad that you're at least competent enough to bear them. I have a suggestion, a proposal, a line of thinking, if you would allow me to suggest it.
I asked for such, so I will allow it.
Something has been taken. A source of food has been taken. A means of trade has been taken. this only weakens the, and I'll kind of like gesture behind me to all the various living and food needing beings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it would be a great loss and a great setback for this community. Wouldn't you choose to make a strong front, at least there, and then, well, send them packing back to Malforic, at least for a little bit?
I only think this is wise if it will help cut off the head of this Sleet nightmare. Do you think it would bring such a boon onto this? Do you think that they will come to help, however weak they are? Do you know strength that lies in that sleepy, reliant town?
Only about 10, not more than 15 or 16. I think we could easily take them with enough, well, backing. And that, once they're cleared out and we have a good gauge of their strength, that would be much, much easier. The first step in pushing back Malforic. I think it would be advantageous, helpful.
Although you
But
speak
that's
in my
only-
mind, you speak in the true tongue. I see your respect, and I acknowledge your strategy. I will think on this. There are many things at play here. If we allow that dragon to continue its path, it might take more of my own tribe and the rest of the tribes, and the champion might be told to come back and wreak havoc that you would not think possible.
I have one additional query, if you would allow me to ask the question. How much do you know about the druids that live on Brockmire?
There are a few, although most are peons to Gracia and do not have the understanding and the ways of keeping her at bay as I do. But
Have you?
is another place. There are other druids that Gracia and the entirety of Brockmire would forsake, although I have learned much from them, though they are very far, and even I do not know how to breach speaking with them. They are truly secretive.
Well, I think it would be worth your while, and I think I'm gonna drop off the fungal oath. I'm gonna put my little hands, my little tendrils on the ground, and I'm gonna cast a 3rd level spell
Mm-hmm.
with the. Oh wait, no. I messed up. Fuck. I'm not gonna do that. Never mind.
Okay, that's fine.
Take that back. Yeah, I'm just gonna pose the query that solving the food crisis might be very helpful. Might be very, very helpful with the druids' help.
I cannot speak to the
in
druids,
acquiring
and
food.
neither will the druids on either side, on Gracia's good graces or not, will help. They are outside of all of this. They simply seek refuge of nature. They don't care about the people within it, or especially us who find the means through a more unusual path of curing our sicknesses. But if you are able to find them, and that is a large if, I only tell you these things because they are so hard to find. If you are able to find them and get them to help you in some regard, well, you will truly earn my respect, for it is not something I have been able to do in many years I have been here.
Well, I will keep it in mind, and I will do my very best. And then I'll give a very respectful bow
raise his head again and says, "You seem interesting. I will be watching you and your friends very closely. You might have more uses after this as well, but that is beside the point. This is very urgent, and I will think on your suggestion, although I am very hesitant to actually take it. This business with Malforic, I believe, would be best done chopping off the head and convincing my champion that they shall return. But, again, I will think on this, and perhaps if you can bring some sort of strength from the other town, a way to ensure that this war with Malforic will be complete with us as the victors, then perhaps I will allow it. But for now, I do not see that, but I must commune with other things. Also, I would not try to cure the wounds of your wyvern. That would only invite more machinations of Gracia, and you seem to be faring well without any illnesses so far, and I would hope you keep it that way. For I will not give you my own cures until you prove your worth.
What would you recommend me do with my wyvern?
Keep it away from other illnesses. As long as you don't try to cure the Gracia's shield that pollutes it now, it shouldn't contract others unless it is, well, within the murky depths of the north or otherwise trudging through the swamp. We will have 1 day's time. You can stay here. That in it itself, surviving amongst my lessers, will prove that you are worthy. And in that day's time, I will make a decision. I will allow you to visit my humble abode, but do not enter. Simply wait outside, and if you have more points to speak of, then I will allow it. But for now, I must ruminate and ask my other sources perhaps what the best decision may be.
I feel like this lady got future
I
sight.
have one
for
thing
some
to
reason.
say to her.
Very well. She did allow you guys all to speak. If you wish to speak, now is the time.
I want to ask her if she perchance knows anything about that one like dark warship with the black dragon on it that I saw through my minion during the aesthetic problem.
I see. You all are not without your interesting tales and breaching certain interesting questions. You are obviously at the precipice of great understanding of things that some people don't know of until much research. Well, I do not know much about Nalnebris or the dragon that slumbers on it, but it is something well known in the core world which I hail from, that the Malnebris is something malicious that sails the void, the only thing that it can truly exist there. It is said that it takes people and puts it aboard its own vessel and creates them into unknowable things. It is not something I would research too much into, but if it is something you seek, you must go once again into the void and perhaps deeper down into the core world, although you would most likely forget it. Or you should most likely forget it. For this is one thing I shall breach with you all, since you have such inquisitive questions. Usually going deeper leads to great knowledge and some reward, but leads to eldritch knowledge which should not be known. I myself have stopped at a certain point which I think is safe, but have gotten close to much darkness, and as you can see, I still employ rather immoral means of enacting my will. So it simply is the question of what you are willing to risk and how dark you are willing to truly let your own soul go to find out those secrets.
Chris will nod and also
Was she always on
Um,
Brockmire?
bow.
Not-
It, by that statement, it sounds like she wasn't, but I want to hear it. From
yeah,
you.
it really sounds like she has been deeper.
If you have more questions, again, wait in front of my own home, and I will accompany you there. For now, I must stay here a day, and try to survive my lessers. I'm sure Lorcrag
She means
seems to
you're
have
gonna
a soft
attack?
spot. So you might not be accosted too much, but do not stray too far. Very well, if that is all, then I shall commune. With that, she'll step back and sort of slowly saunter towards her house. Again, her tail kind of leaving a trail, or trailing behind her. And you see the different, all the the different parasites on her tail seeming to squirm and glow and move in their different ways. Although she does not react as she steps back to her hovel. And you see, as from afar, she opens the door and goes inside.
I will look at Lord Crag and I'll say, "So, newly minted champion, huh? Feeling unworthy?" Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry. Like, you. I want to hear what he says.
Oh, he says, I am not sure if it is as great a thing as you say. This news of the champion, well, it makes me a opposition of the champion, one who has lived longer here and been a tale here for longer than even the shaman. And this bodes ill for me. I imagine that it is more a test of strength. Either we win against the champion and Malforic, or I am being offered up as a sort of peace calling. For if the champion beats me, then it shall be the champion once again. And I believe then that means the shaman will find some way to coexist with Malforic. I am more an offering in some regard than an actual candidate or an actual replacement for the champion. So, well, if I am actually given the mantle, then, well, it will mean that either we win and I give the championship back to the true champion and the shaman once again rules over this plate, or we lose and my death is the price for brokering peace between Malforic and the shaman.
So he's just a fucking sacrificial lamb.
I will do whatever I may for the shaman. And, well, that means that you are now all more important to me and even the shaman. This is a last effort, I suppose.
Damn.
But thank you. I know you mean well, and that you think that this,
Well,
you thought that this perhaps was a boon for me. And
always easy to feel unworthy.
Mm.
I can relate, but hopefully we can keep you from being a offering of sorts and bring you into your own.
All things considered, that went fairly well. It seems that either the shaman lord likes you, or, well, is simply in a good mood, and that sees you all as a worthy sacrifice for peace on this plate. It is hard to say. Either way, I trust the shaman and know that whatever we do and whatever she decides will be the best choice for our tribe and for the plate. Well, she said you shall stay here for a day. I will try and watch over you. I imagine even the others will be a bit intimidated since the shaman seemed to think so highly of you all. So, simply if you don't stray too far, but I imagine you can all look around and sort of try to talk to the others if you wish. Although again,
They only speak Draconic, right? So it's just like
it's true.
it's not like we can talk to them.
They do seem to be fairly staunch in their draconic upbringing. But yeah. But he still says basically like, hey, you guys got a day. She said that she's gonna decide in a day, so you guys can be up to whatever. Look around, find out more secrets if you wish, or just go to the hut and talk to her again or whatever. But yeah, it'll be like, very well, you can, if you wish for cleanliness, there will be no place here, but you can find a corner perhaps to hide away in if you really wish. All right. And with that, is there anything anywhere you guys would like to go, or perhaps do whilst you're in Cannibal Camp or the Drowned Horde Camp?
They said they needed an offering.
It seems that, well, Lord Craig implied that an offering would probably be required talking to the shaman, although the shaman didn't say anything about it. But you generally think that offerings of like meat and such are very, very well welcome, and kind of.
Is this the dirty water, or can we go fishing?
This is all swamp. This is like usually the stuff that you walk in, and then you have to make a Constitution saving throw because you'll get a sickness.
Is there anywhere safe that we could, like?
You know that you guys were able to
back on the boat.
Yeah, more back there. By your boat. That's like a open bay. Let me check the map.
Sticky swamp.
Stinky, nasty swamp.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Roadie.
Lord Craig will say there's one out of camp, but that like.
Yeah, but we were told to not. Out of camp.
Sinbad.
No, not yet.
Sinbad, what were you doing, huh?
He was trying to break into the Froghemoth pen and ride one of them.
I'm gonna ride the.
Listen, last time someone got into any pen, it didn't go out well.
That's funny coming from you as well.
It's a good point.
I'm owning up to my mistakes.
Yeah, that's fair. Era Lord moment.
But yeah, so you guys are able to do anything. If you guys just want to talk to the Plague Speaker more, you can also do that. Literally give you invitation. But there are also just like, it's a big camp. This camp is basically almost bigger than the town you guys just came from. It seems like,
yeah, I'm realizing that. It's quite large.
It seems like the it's a very large population on Brockmire, and you guys are fairly lucky that you are able to be here without
Dying.
Yeah, dying or otherwise being under threat.
I'm vibing.
Is our session done at 3?
It is done. Yeah. I was actually waiting. I kept glancing at it. So that's where we'll leave off, I guess.
I just had to seem like a good
guys will be
wrap
in the
up
no,
point.
you're right. I mean, I was waiting
Now
for literally 3.
Okay.
But so yeah, you
now
guys
is the town session.
you guys get to think. Yeah. Who thunk that that being in cannibal camp would actually be potentially more peaceful than being in the normal ass town?
Yeah, we're more excited. We're safer here than we were in the town.
True.
Yep.
I'm excited that I've never gotten to muster a small army to fight back against a threat in D&D before, but I always read stories about people doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god, yeah, I
nice.
think it's so cool.
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely building something up. But you've heard of this strange champion that they seem to be gushing over so much, but also being like, oh fuck, the champion's gone. Oh fuck, what do we do? So we'll see. Yeah, you guys are up to more threats than just Malforic. It turns out. And who knows what's coming? But yeah, potentially get a big group. We'll see what we'll see when the time comes. But yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. It's kind of, even though we have such long breaks in between games, it was 2 very heavy RP sessions in a row without much combat in sight. But that's just how it is. I mean, you guys could basically ran away from the big fight at the town, so not really. You guys have this.
How dare you not make us in even more danger right now?
Exactly.
But either way,
If
yeah.
these cannibals don't betray us, I'm gonna be upset.
I want to fight this entire tribe.
I've put in a lot of work into making them amenable to us.
For real.
It seems to be working for the most part.
Yeah. You're befriending them. The cannibals.
All right, with leaving you guys having talked to the shaman, finally seeing the shaman and seeming to formulate some sort of plan and finally fighting back against this Malforic, you all gather and begin to think about what you do in a camp full of hungry cannibal murderer people for a day, and what shall come. So we'll leave at that. Thank you everybody in the stream for watching. I always appreciate
Thank you, Chad.
Thanks, stream.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thanks, Nalth, for being good mod and being around. I appreciate that.
Woo, yeah, no.
One stream, one love. One stream, one love.
It's my dad.
All right, though. Hopefully we'll be on not next week, but the week after that. Same time, and we'll see. Anyhow, goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.